Oh, crap, guys. Didn't even realize you guys were there. Welcome back to another episode of Confessions from the Front Seat of the Impala. Today is Season 2 Day recap of Supernatural. I am excited to go through this journey with Darcy Darkness, but as we all know, I am LunarXRising.
And I'm Darcy Darkness.
How are you doing today, Darcy? I know it's a little earlier than we normally do this, but
It's fine. Feeling better than I was earlier doing my stream. Throat's a bit better.
that's good. Yeah, I was gonna try catching your stream this morning, but I ended up dozing off like a half hour before you started.
Oh,
And I'm
shame.
like,
Oh, shame.
I know. I will literally say this to the fullest. I blame it on the alcohol.
Shocking. But no, I don't expect you to tune into every single stream because, well, you don't live in the same time zone. It can be incredibly difficult and you work. So it's not like you can just randomly jump on. I do keep my Twitch on in my PC on yours when I go. So I think we've discussed that before.
I know you stream for like an hour or two in the mornings.
3 hours today.
3 hours? Gotcha. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
mean, normally during the weekdays, I can usually catch your streams when you do stream, because if you do stream at like 3 or well, it'd be 3 my time, it'd be 8 yours. But if you're doing it for like an hour or two, I can normally catch at least halfway through it because my first alarm does go off at 4 a.m. I can normally catch your stream if I either A, remember, or B, am not tired enough to just
Go to sleep.
completely skip it. But since today was my only day off, I definitely slept in. Now, next week, because I know you have a birthday coming up, I'm excited. And guys,
Oh.
for anybody, I will say this before we even get into our stream or before we get into our episode, stuff like that. Anybody who does listen to this that has not followed already, that has not, subscribed or whatever to us, do me a favor. Get this upcoming birthday girl. Follow her on her Twitch page. Trying to get her to 50 followers. Start a conversation with her, guys. A blessing to me. That'd be my birthday gift to her. If you guys could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously do it for her because she would greatly appreciate it as
It
well.
would.
I guess first things first, before we fully get into this, guys, we have mentioned this numerous times throughout each and every episode. Maybe not every episode. We might have skipped an episode too. Mentioning this. This is a disclaimer. We are not your daycare channel. We are not your Disney Plus channel. We are not that cute and cuddly plush toy that you hold at night to go to sleep because it's comforting. We cuss. We are obscene. We borderline get close to Pornhub channel with some of the stuff that we talk about, which is ironic because it's usually about murder. So that's kind of weird that I can put that reference in there, but it's there. If you guys do not like the stuff, quote unquote, offended by anything that we say, this is not your channel to be a part of. Now, the supernatural episodes, on the other hand, that's a little bit of a different story. We're not that gloom and dark on these episodes, but any other episodes that we do have, enter at your own risk. Point blank, period. But Darcy, how did you enjoy going through Supernatural season 2?
I feel in season 2, like I've discussed it. Obviously, there's someone who follows me on Twitch called Demire, and we always talk about that. We always talk about TV shows and stuff. And we were discussing, like, oh, it was awful long. It's like, yeah, because you've got to get the breakdown of everybody from season 1, and you only had, what was it, Dean, Sam, Daddy Douche, Bobby came in at the end, and then it was like the build up of the demon and stuff like that to season 2. So you do have a lot of backstory of finding about with their mother and finding about their childhood and finding about the shit. And then it kind of continues in season 2. But I didn't feel it was as kind of dragged out like season 1. I don't know about you, but I felt season 1, when you rewatch it for a different perspective now, because obviously I'm doing a research and a breakdown and I'm writing down things and as I go. And I've seen these seasons multiple times, but you notice little things differently when you're looking at it differently, if you get what I mean. If that, you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's season 2. I think there's only 1 or 2 seasons that's longer than season 2. They're all roughly around the same length, so
Well, we kind of there's a few seasons that are shorter though. Because remember we worked it out the last time.
There definitely is a few seasons that are shorter, but there are a couple seasons that I think have like 23, 24 episodes instead of 20 or 21. But in my opinion, the only thing that kind of throws everything off, like don't get me wrong, the show in itself is a great series, obviously. We wouldn't be doing a podcast episode of season 2 if we both didn't think that the series was great. I think the only thing that throws me off is, you want the storyline of the brothers, the dad, everything like that, and what's going to happen. And then they just throw curveballs at you, those filler episodes that really don't mean too much. They might have some small callbacks or something like that to maybe previous episodes or maybe upcoming episodes, but they are absolutely in there for no reason at all, and I don't know why they're in there. Maybe things can just get broken down, and probably those can end up getting left out in future episodes just because they are filler episodes and there's not really much to them.
There was four back to back
Yeah,
in season 2. Remember I said to you because you asked me what episode I was on, and I was like, "This is me on like the third filler episode. What the actual fuck?" Then a fourth one came on, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It's like what? Because that could have literally went from 18 episodes. They didn't need to do 22.
and that's what I'm saying. You could have broke it down straight to 18. 18 episodes and easily done just a summary on 18 episodes instead of having to do a summary on 22.
They're pointless.
Yeah. I mean, they're all just kind of pointless at some point, but
So what I'm
pointless
gonna
at some point. But again, guys, I have seen all 15 seasons of Supernatural. So,
are we ready to
season
dive
2,
in?
episode 1, In My Time of Dying. Darcy, if you would.
Well, we left the finale of season 1, where they rescued Daddy Douchebag from the demons. He was possessed by yellow eyes. What a shocker. Then he leaves Daddy Douchebag's body when Sam shot him with a Colt in the leg instead of shooting him and killing him, because if you shoot him in the head, it will kill the human host. And these bullets are limited. And I say what the actual fuck, Sam, because there was 5 bullets and the fucker wasted one. Jesus Christ. So then they drive and they take Dean to the hospital because Dean is totally fucked up at this point. And as they're driving, being a spoon bender, as Dean calls it, he uses many slurs at his brother, and people like him a lot. Sam the spoon bender family. Sorry, Sam the spoon bender has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? So they're in the car, and Bad Mood and Rising is playing, and it's like they're driving in the Impala, and then they get hit by an Arctic truck, and the guy's eyes is completely black, which means he's been possessed by a demon, and no doubt it would have been yellow eyes. It's probably said like take them fucking out. As you do. That's how season 1 ends, and that's how season 2 starts, is where they're in the car and they're all fucked up. Sam's like the only one who doesn't get fucked up. Daddy Douchebag gets something wrong with him, obviously, and so does obviously Dean. Dean's fucked up.
Well, no shit. Daddy Douchebag just got possessed by a demon and then shot in the leg by his son. Of course there's something fucked up with him.
He got shot in the leg. Calm down. It's not like he gets shot in the face. Do you know what I mean? He gets shot in the fucking leg.
Have you been shot? Do you know how it feels?
I've been shot with a BB gun and I get shot in the face with that,
It's
and that was not fucking pleasant.
it's not an actual bullet though.
I know, but I was also going to say that I regularly get shot in the face, but I don't think we'll need to cut that bit out.
No, might as well leave it in there. Why not? Especially after the plushy gif you just sent me. Yeah, you might as well just leave that in here.
What?
I was trying so hard
Everybody
not to
loves their
laugh
shit
at
in the
that
face.
gif.
Well, you started saying we're not a plushy channel, so I had to say I said of the plushy thing from Big Mouth. I was like, yeah.
I know I seen that and I was trying to hold it in as you were going through the description. I was trying to not laugh so hard.
Well, you can.
Any-
Anyway,
Anyways.
so shall we start season 2 now? It was like in progress. I don't know about you. Shall we continue? Bobby, a storm's coming. No shit, Bobby. That's why we love Bobby so much, because he's a realist. He fucking just like the shit is coming. Great soundtrack as a recap. Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. This is where we start to see the genius musical arrangement in each episode, and one of the reasons why we both love this show so much. Now, Bad Moon Rising, the driver comes out of the truck, rips off the door. Sam warns the demon not to come any closer, and he's holding the coat, and the demon responds with, "You're saving the bullet for someone else, so he knows he won't waste it." Smart little demon, isn't he? Demon escapes the body of the truck, as they do. Open mouth, black smoke. The driver's confused, and he's looking about, looking upset and shocked about driving into him. Of course, he can't remember, being possessed and, driving his truck into a lovely Impala that is, baby. The paramedics have airlifted Dean to hospital. When they're in the hospital, you see Sam with his dad, and then it goes to Dean, and you think Dean's walking about, but Dean is actually, he's a ghost, his spirit, how would you think? He's not dead, but he's like in between worlds, isn't he? So he's basically in another dimension, basically, Dean, and he's in a coma, obviously, because he got fucked up. And then the supernatural title flames come up and goes, "Dean, Sammy, you look good considering." And Sam is upset looking at Dean in the coma. Dean keeps asking if his dad's okay and ripping the piss out of him for being psychic. Dean has brain injuries and they will be severe, they said. He may never wake up and they need to be realistic. Dean is trying to get their attention because, again, he's in a different world, a different dimension, and he's trying to get their attention. Where's the coat? John obsessed much? And Sam is like, Dean is in a bad way. Sam said he has contacted Bobby to deal with it because Bobby is the true hero here, isn't he? Hashtag Team Bobby. Dean is raging. He's in the corner and he says he's sure he knows something, as he knows his dad is lying because his dad is like totally deflecting at this point. Bobby wants to dump the car, but Sam says Dean will want to fix it up when he gets out, and Bobby agrees to do it. Imagine getting rid of that car. He would never forgive him.
Supernatural if they got rid of the car, though. I mean, the
I know.
car is what made Dean Winchester, and it is literally just part of the show in itself.
Yeah. Sam gives Bobby a list to get stuff for John and the demon, and Bobby said, "Your dad wants me to get this, as in this isn't right." So Bobby's just realised that the list is basically for summoning a demon, not killing a demon. And he doesn't tell Sam this at this point. John is looking at his son in bed, and Dean is shouting and telling him from the other world that he needs to do something and be a better father, and how he has done everything for his father. A figure flew past Dean. Now he's investigating it. Now, because he's in the different dimension, because he's not alive and he's not dead, then you're going to come across, what will you come across now? A Reaper. Reapers, this is their sweet spot, is it not, in hospitals and stuff, where people they are holding on to dear life, but they give them the option to pass on. Again, the figure, ghostly robe figure, and someone is choking, and then she dies, and obviously they take the spirit, blah, blah, blah. John says, "You're quiet." Sam is losing it and says, "This isn't for killing the demon, is it? It's for summoning him." You care more about that demon than your own son. So Sam is basically saying, "You're a dickhead, daddy douchebag, and you should be fucking caring about what's happening to Dean right now and not fucking caring about the fucking demon. How's revenge going to help?" Sam says this to his dad. Also, his dad blames Sam for not killing him. "John, you're projecting at your son, making him feel guilty when you have no right to throw stones after everything you have done to those boys, you tunt." And tunt is the word I use instead of using unt with a silent C, so you'll find it out a lot. Dean starts glitching and doctors making noise. Dean has went into cardiac arrest and the doctors are working on him. Sam visibly seeing his brother die, and they are charging to go again, and the Reaper is trying to reap his soul before death, and Dean is trying to stop it. And Dean has a pulse, it stops. Sam is slightly relieved. Well, of course you are, because he's alive. Dean, don't worry, Sammy, I'm not going anywhere. Now, he's seeing all these things when he's in the other dimension and not actually, obviously, with Sam right now. Dean walking around in the other dimension, someone is shouting, and Dean says, "Can you see me?" Her name is Tessa. Dean shows her in the hospital. "It's just a dream," she says to Dean, and he says it's not. Outer body experience. Dean says to Tessa, "We are spirits." He asks if she's going to die, and Dean says, "Not if we hold." Sam said he felt something. Did you? Like a sneeze? John asks what he says. Do you think a spirit could be hanging around? And John says anything is possible from their world. Sam brings a Ouija board out to Dean's room so he can communicate with Dean from his dimension. Dean, you gotta be kidding me. Because they've taken out a Ouija board. Sam is asking what is Dean hunting and using the Ouija board to tell him about it. Sam asks if it's here for him. It's here naturally, then we cannot do anything. Sam, there's got to be a way. Dad will know what to do. Daddy Douchebag is about to contact the demon with the supplies Sam brought from Bobby. Sam has his dad's journal and he's reading it as if Dean is right there with him. Dean, thanks for not giving up on me, Sammy. At this point, you can tell that Dean doesn't know if he's actually going to survive, but he's hoping that Sam's going to be able to, get him out of this because pretty much that's what the whole story's about, brothers doing shit. It's Riker Road. Dean realizes Tessa is a Reaper. Yeah, Dean realizes Tessa's a Reaper. I already knew she was a Reaper because when she showed up, she was being totally fucking false, and it was for someone who can't read people to know that they were faking. It just goes to show the acting was terrible. Tessa, I was wondering when you were going to figure it out. It's my sandbox. I can make you see what I want. She tells him he's in borrowed time already. Don't give up, Dean. Suicidally reckless is what Yellow Eyes calls John for summoning him. Summoning him. Fuck me. Oh, John, I don't want to trap you. I want to make a deal. The demon knows John only has one bullet left. Daddy John is summoning the demon. That's what wants him to exchange and for Dean's life. So he makes the ultimate sacrifice so his son will live and that he did what was best for Dean, or so he thought. Sam gives Dean a pep talk while he's in his coma, saying they just started being brothers again. Well, maybe if you didn't fuck off to college, you'd still be fucking brothers, wouldn't you, you dick? They've always been brothers. What he's saying is that he just wished because they had just reconnected again. Tessa said he will die a warrior's death and he jokes about it and says there's no such thing as an honourable death, which is true. Dean says no to Tessa. She said he can stay but he won't get his body back. He will become an angry spirit. Yellow Eye says he cannot bring him back but he knows someone who can. They've made a deal with the gun in his life. That's John, Daddy Douchebag's life. Tessa's still trying to lure Dean to go with her and Black Smoke takes the Reaper. She says what's happening, like this wasn't supposed to happen. Her eyes go yellow and she says it's your lucky day, kid. He says it creepy like Pennywise though. Dean has completely recovered. He does, yeah. Dean isn't sure why the Reaper disappeared and he cannot remember. John to Dean, how are you feeling? Dean, I'm alive. John, that's great. Really? John, can we not fight? I've always done the best I could. I just don't want to fight anymore. He asks Sam to get him a cup of caffeine. Then he sits with Dean. Dean asks, what is it? John reminiscing about the past and Dean being supportive. John apologises for being a shit dad. Finally! And saying he put too much on him. Yes, he did. And how he too took care of them and not complain about it. So basically, John said to him, you basically became a father while I did fuck all. We all know he's a bit of a dick anyway. John says he just wanted to know that he was so proud of Dean. Dean asks why he's saying this stuff. Watch out for Sammy. I will. Why are you saying this? You're scaring me. That's what Dean says. John leans into Dean and whispers something. And his face gets really shocked because it's about Sam. And it's like, what the fuck has he said about Sam is the thing? Because that's the one thing you don't really find out. And I don't know if you do find out that, because obviously I've only seen it half through season 12, that he says something about Sam to shock him enough to the fact he's got to look after him. So he knows something about Sam's future and he doesn't want to, obviously, Dean to tell Sam. So, and for Dean to get spooked, it must have been something fucked up. John
Absolutely.
says, yeah, John says, okay. Cuts to Sam walking past Dean's room and John's unconscious on the floor, shouting for help. And they are watching as they do CPR and then they've decided to stop. And the doctor says, let's call it 10:41 a.m. And the little fact here was Eric Kripke expressed regret that they missed out an opportunity to show Sam's grief over John's death. He said in his own words, I feel like we kind of did a small disservice to the character, and I think they did by not actually addressing the grief of not only John's death but their mother's as well. So they could have did a wee bit more for that, but anyway, that was episode 1.
They probably could have.
Is there anything you want to add?
No, not really. Yeah, it's literally a whole recap, but honestly, I feel like that actually betters the character in a way. He never really had that father-son experience with John like Dean did. I feel like in a way it did its justice by not showing it because this is Sam. He doesn't really care, but he does all at the same time type of deal.
So we're ready for episode
I
2?
think yeah.
Everybody loves a clown. Nope, I don't think Sam likes clowns. That's what the first thing I wrote when this episode started. It was he didn't like clowns as a child, and apparently still didn't like them now. So there's a recap, family business, and with the time has come today playing, and they are showing the Winchesters best bits from season 1, like a wee recap like they do anyway usually, and showing you how Daddy did the heroic selfless thing and gave up his life for Dean. I still don't think it's selfless, to be honest, because we'll find that out probably closer to season 12 why. We are at the fair. It's very creepy, as fairs are. We don't really get fairs like that here, so we're just used to watching them on American TV. It's so creepy and clowns are everywhere. But there is one that's creepy as fuck. But again, he looks like he's already killed you. Yeah. This episode is about a clown that kids are seeing at the fair, and then when they're at home, the clown appears again and they invite them in, and then the clown kills the family. If clowns weren't creepy enough, they are now. So there's like a wee girl waving at a creepy clown. Because that's not dodgy, is it? A wee girl waving at a creepy ass
Absolutely
clown.
not.
This is another episode that isn't anything to do with the main story, but it does bring in people from the Roadhouse, and we kind of need them for this part of the story because they are actually part of Sam's journey to where he's inevitably going to be. Would you let a creepy as fuck clown into your home at night and take him by the hand? Nope, nope, no, I wouldn't. How about you? That question's to everybody, including you, Lunar. Would you, as a child, take a creepy clown from outside, hold his hand, and take him into your fucking house? No, I would
Absolutely
not.
not. Absolutely not. I think we got into a discussion about my uncle's dad or brother. I can't remember. He was a clown for the Carnegie Brothers Circus,
No, you did not.
and
What the fuck?
oh yeah, so yeah, he was a clown for the Carnegie Brothers Circus, and he would absolutely scare the shit out of us all the time in his clown
I
getup and
bet.
everything like that. And so me growing up, I could hate clowns,
It's okay.
but I ended up hating clowns. Then I watched it, and
It brought
then
you back.
yeah, it brought me back. And then clowns then started to not bother me. I seen horror movies that had clowns in them, and I kind of faced my fears through those and everything like that. But it's still to this day, every time I see a clown or anything like that, I always think about the stupid pranks my uncle's brother, I guess my uncle, I guess, would play on us to scare us when we were younger. I hated it, but at the same time, it kind of
A
brings me
nice
back
wee
and makes me
memory.
laugh. It is, but no, if I was a child, I would not let a clown into my home or even take him by the hand. I'd probably punch him in the dick and run.
Yeah, it's more of a headbutt. So your punch is like a headbutt for Scottish. I'd probably headbutt him in the dick because I'd probably be that small. Average, height child. So, right, so we have Dean and Sam are giving their dad a heroic, like a warrior's funeral. It's kind of like a Viking where they set you on fire on a altar. That's what they do for hunters, which again is a Viking type warrior's death, wrapped and set on fire. Sam and Dean are looking at the fire, and Sam asks Dean if his dad said anything to him, and Dean responds with nothing. Now we know that is absolute bullshit because we've seen your shocked, fucking scared face, Dean. Dean is working on the Impala. Sam offers Dean his assistance in repairing the car, and he asks him to stop asking. Now, this is a pet hate of mine. I've lost both my parents, and my mum died last year. And when someone asks you if you're okay or wants to help you because they think you're struggling, I just want to punch them in the fucking face. So I know exactly how Dean feels here. You just want people to shut the fuck up and just let you get on with it and stop fucking treating you differently. And that's what you kind of have to say to people, or they'll just keep doing it and annoying the fuck out of you. So even though he's checking in with them, it's still annoying. Dean is sarcastic towards Sam. When is he? Never. Not. Dean has said he's working on the car because they have no leads on the demon or the cult, as both are gone. A call from one of their father's cells and has taken him to the roadhouse, which is Ellen. who runs it with her daughter Jo, and a lot of hunters frequently go there and they share information and things like that. And obviously, that helps with different cases that are going on because, again, they can work together and all that kind of. So, teamwork makes the dream work and all that. The mullet, Ash's mullet, is one of the finest. Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
A gun cocks and it's Joe behind them, both, and it's Ellen. Dean gets the gun from Joe and then he gets punched by Joe. But they've kind of got like a brother-sister relationship, even though they have almost had sex. Have they had sex at this point? Did they ever have sex before? I don't know. Dean gets the...
Can't remember.
Can't remember. But there's an energy. Yeah, there's like a brother-sisterly, but then they look at each other a wee bit not brother and sisterly. Ellen has just realised John hasn't sent them, and she finds out the demon killed him. She gives her sympathy, and Dean is a dick about it. But when is Dean not a dick? If he wasn't a dick, then there would be a problem. Ash is looking through John's evidence to find the demon, asks them to give him 51 hours. Sam asks what the folder is behind the bar, and she goes, it's missing people and like cases that might not be cases that people are unsure of. Joe says she's sorry to hear about John. Dean asks Killer Clown. Cops have no leads. Dean says, why did it have to be clowns, huh, Sam? Because we've joked about that. In 1981, it happened 3 different times. Paranormal scavenger hunt, as I was calling it. I think Sam was bored and wanted to do a hunt because their father would want them to help Ellen. Another scene at the fair, and a father and son this time are in like a haunted like terror house or haunted house with like mirrors and shit. Because the wee boy sees the creepy ass clown again, like the first girl. The wee boy said, I saw a clown to his dad, and his dad tells him not to be scared of the clowns and that they are his friends. Really, really, because it was already out at this point, really. They are home and the clown is back with him, and the wee boy said, Dad, you were right, the clown is my friend. Oh, okay. And the dad was nice about it. Dean hates the car, it's squeaking and it's just a heap of shit. Now, they're not in their Impala, they're in like some sort of really old ass, like people carrier type thing. I don't know how you would class the car in America. What would you class it as? The slidey doors?
Sliding doors? A minivan?
Yeah, kind of like that. It was a really old one. Sam is looking around the fair. The wee boy said it was a clown that disappeared into thin air. Dean sees a help sign wanted, so they go undercover, don't they? And there's a man throwing knives who's blind, and Dean rips the piss out of him. And again, he's done this with someone who's had an impairment before, and it was a deaf guy during Reaper. What was it called? Reaper? Or what was it? Faith, it was called. The episode from season 1 with the Reaper. He rips the piss out the blind guy, and the blind guy says, like, I can hear everything because you might be blind, but I'm not deaf. Well, he does it again with the blind guy that's throwing the knives. Sam says they want to do anything, and they want to the circus people to try and get a job. Sam keeps saying it's what Dad would have wanted. Did the pre-deaf talk help him to see that being a hunter is the only way forward so that Dean can protect him? Who knows? Sam is in the mirrors, and as he works there now, I need to find their way in. Sam craps it, as he does, and he brings out the EMF to check to see if there's anything unusual, and if they've brought it out, usually they know there's something unusual, by the way. It's not just by coincidence that they're doing it. Dean is a binman, it seems, sorry, or a janitor. Dean ripped the piss out the blind guy, I've just said that, so that we're getting cooked. Sorry, I'm just going down my note. Kids said they saw another clown. Again. What is with this clown? This is like 3 families basically, and he has to take them out. Dean and Sam enter the house. Dean shoots the clown with rock salt. Mommy, Daddy, they shot my clown. It was going to fucking kill your mum and dad, you wee shit. Do you know what I mean? So they fucking saved you.
Exactly.
It's like, seriously, when did she buy it? Lol, acting like she owns it. Like, Sam, you're strong and silent type. Caring and sharing. Talking about how they're sitting on the Impala at this point, and goes talking about how he's not dealing with it. Dean is like me. I said, don't know if you can, because we've said it before. Even though you're like a team Sam, there's a lot of Deanisms basically in both of us that are like him, like the sarcasm and stuff. So it's
Oh
like
yeah, they definitely are sarcastic with
similarities.
each other all the time. Yeah, there are a lot of similarities.
He tells him he's not doing the best, and again, because I'm dealing with you and are projecting your shit onto me. I'm dealing with it in my own way. This is what I was saying. So my parents passed away, and people just think you ain't you're not right or wrong way to express how you feel, and no one should ever make you feel that your grieving is bad or good. So, you know what I mean? Like the right way or the wrong way type thing. Because I used to get, you're not grieving, and that's what Dean's trying to say. Just because he's not showing it doesn't mean he's not processing it in his own way. Just because he doesn't want to fucking hug Sam, do you know what I mean? He'd probably end up punching him, and that's pretty much how I would end up reacting. But he's just telling him, I'm dealing with it my own way. You deal with it your way. If I need your help, I'll ask you for it. And or you'll see that he needs it, kind of thing. That's the way Dean is, because sometimes he's not good with the words, and he can't say it, and it's kind of like me, where I can't actually verbalize what I need. But good job I have people around me who do know. So that's what I feel about Dean anyway. Dean is checking the blind guy's trunk because they still don't know why the fuck this is happening as well. The boys go into the fun house or the hell house, I'm not sure what you call it, and they've been separated. And as you can imagine, Sam isn't a fan of this type of shit, but it's weird though, as they don't know their bearings, but the clown does. And they are blind technically, and now the knives are being thrown, and Dean has been pinned by them. Sam stabs the demon, and Dean is left hanging up with knives. Dean response, I hate fun houses, don't we all? Ellen, your dad would be proud, and hands him a beer because they found out it was the blind guy, if you didn't make that aware. And they're kind of all in on it. I think the Joe people way. Sam says he has to go over there right now as Dean is trying to hook up with Joe. And Dean asks, do you want to see me again? He explains he would been hitting on her, but again, he's not himself. And he's not using snoo as a disassociating. He just seems to drink through it, which ain't healthy either. Ash comes back and says he will find the demon as he set up alerts, etc., on his weird steampunk looking conspiracy theorist paranoia machine laptop. It's a whole lot of words there for someone with a sore throat. Sam says he's sorry picking a fight with his dad, and now his dad probably thinks he hates him and he misses him, but Dean says it's too little too late, and Sam knows it, and he knows he's not okay, and he says to Dean that he isn't either. He leaves him to work in the car. Dean takes a crowbar to the car, including the Impala, and that boy needs a whiskey and an easy lady right now. That's what I wrote. More daddy issues next time on Supernatural. He basically goes nuts and not destroys the Impala, but he just literally has a moment of he needs a release. And he doesn't have a whiskey and an easy lady, so he's gonna take a crowbar to cars and fucking take it out in them and just bash the shit out of them. Like a rage room, if you will.
I need a good rage room.
Yeah. Song playing out seems to be the show's music this time. I said I've noticed it's only songs in the episode. Really, you get it in season 2, not at the end to kind of tie them together. Apparently, there's an official name for Sam's fear of clowns. It's called, what did you say it is?
Coulrophobia.
Right, there we go. Thank you. My
You're welcome.
pronunciation wizard. Episode 3, because that was just another episode tying in the demon at the start. Then we've got Bloodless. The recap is the song playing As Time Has Come Today by the Chamber Brothers, meaning they have lost enough and that the time has come to end this. So basically tying up loose ends, that's how I felt. Showing the accent from season 1 finale, because again, they don't really have much because it's only the second season. And then Demon saying, if only the boys knew how much their daddy loved them. See when he says, it's just so sleazy.
Yeah, it was.
Journey Wheel in the Sky, I love that song, is for the next recap. A woman is running through the woods and she's hiding behind a tree. She moves around, which is always a bad idea. Decapitation anyone. AC/DC Back in Black classic as the Impala is driving down a nice long stretch of road. Dean, woo! That's what he says. Listen to her purr. Because sorry for wooing in your ear. I did not mean to Ric Flair in your ear.
I'm going to put that on a loop now. That's just going to be an ASMR for me.
Don't use me as ASMR, you're fucking mental. So, listen to her purr. Basically, it's the car went from a heap of shit that got taken out by an Arctic lorry, a truck, and now it's brand spanking new. Sam notices that Dean is in a good mood. They have a case. The boys are posing as journalists. Cattle mutilations and 2 decapitations, and the sheriff is laughing as the boys said it was ritual. Well, that always happens, doesn't it? World Weekly News is the newspaper they say in their work they worked for. They really, really worked hard on that that name, didn't they? World Weekly News. Boys, again, posed as student doctors. And saying, no, actually, no, this is real doctors, actually. Yep, doctors sending Audley away. They're in the morgue checking for satanic markings and shit, like demonic kind of markers. Dean wants Sam to look at the head. He also tells Sam to put the lotion in the basket, which is again from a very infamous line from Silence of the Lambs, and many, many memes and gifs.
Or else you get the hose again.
I know. So the decapitation is because the victims are dun 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 vampires. Dean notices something on the inside of the mouth, and it was the retractable fangs. There is that creepy guy who was the vampire, well, not vampire hunter. What was his name again? Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon's a dick. That's if you haven't
Gordon
watched
is absolutely a dick.
some shit happened. It sounds like he was a dickhead before his sister was turned into a fucking vampire, but he took it upon himself to kill her and kill every other vampire, and he's a complete and utter cock. So he is. So he's one of those guys who does lurk, but he's listening for a reason. Especially now that he knew something back in season 1 that was something up with Sam. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, there's something going on. Kind of thing. So he's literally listening. So they're in a bar. It's a vampire barman. I knew it because obviously I've seen up to season 12, so I knew about him. But I'm sure his name's different. They call him Eli, and I'm sure his name wasn't Eli when he's with Dean in another season. I'm sure it wasn't Eli, the guy's name.
I cannot remember.
It wasn't Eli's name.
No, I don't think it was when he was in another season with Dean and Sam, but I think Eli was the name that he majority of the time used.
I thought it was a kind of like southern name he had because he was from the south. Because in that other, his name's different. But anyway, so Gordon's a dick because he's not a team player. Lurking, and then the boys get a jump on him and have a blade at him. This is Gordon. And he shows he has no fangs and he says happy. Guy remembers John and he talks about how he respected their dad, saying that they're filling their dad's shoes. I love the guy set up behind the seat on a roller. That's Gordon. I do. You know how his back seat that pulls out and he's got all his weapons. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
thought that was
cool.
pretty cool.
So he has a cool car and a cool fucking setup with his weapons, but he's a dickhead though. So Guy doesn't want to help, but the boys will. It's the Winchesters. Guy offers him a drink on the flip side. The other hunter is in trouble, and the boys come and help, and they kill the vampire. But he got the vamp's blood on him, and it sprays. So why didn't it turn them? Because this is what annoys me. If it gets into your body at all in Supernatural, it doesn't even have to be a cutter they've bit you. If their blood goes in you, then usually you would turn into a vampire, but it sprays on Gordon and he's not turned at this point. Sorry, spoiler. If you get blood into you, whether you swallow it from them giving it directly or they are killed in front of you, because they say it in season 1 when John's with them about don't get their blood on you and stuff.
Yeah, it'll just like seep into the skin or orifices.
Yes.
And
Even
you can
eyeballs.
yes, you can. And I know we're talking about vampires here, but that actually kind of brings me back to, what is it, 28 Days Later?
Yeah. The
The
virus.
zombie movie. Yeah, it was the rage virus or whatever it was. And it
That's just me on a
turned
Friday.
yeah, right? But it turns everybody into zombies, but it doesn't matter how the blood is contracted. It could be from bites, it could be from the blood dripping into the mouth, nose, ear, eye, orifices, and it'll still turn you.
Sorry, my husband's laughing at what I just said about me. That's me on a Friday night, about 28 days later, and he's still pissing himself.
Tell him to make sure he cleans up the mess when he's done laughing.
I know, you have to clean up the mess when you've done laughing, so said you're pissing yourself. Laughing. So that episode, again, is a filler episode. I don't think I'm going to go through it all. The guy's a dickhead. They find out Gordon's been, well, before I do that, Gordon's been following them and tracking them. Now, the vampires that are staying there are living off of rat's blood and rodent blood. They're not feeding off humans at all. And that's what they're trying to explain to Dean and Sam. And Gordon doesn't give a fuck. If you're a vampire, doesn't give a fuck. He thinks you're below him, so you have to die. You're a demon. Human, demon, vampire, whatever, you're dying. So he doesn't care. So Sam and Dean are basically trying to help because they've already killed a couple of the vampires that were they were literally doing the vegan thing and they're vampires, which again is a really stupid thing to do. But anyway, it would leave them weak. They wouldn't be as strong as they were if they were even drinking a drop of human blood. It doesn't have to be you totally eviscerate someone to eat them. You can have a couple of drops, and that's basically enough to keep you surviving and keep you strong. Basically, you do get away. Eli gets away, and it's Tara for Buffy that's in that episode. So Dean and Gordon are looking at farms around the net again. Dean goes with Gordon because he just needs someone who's not asking if he's okay. That's what it feels like. He's went on with Gordon because he wants to basically do some damage. We've spoke about that before. To kill a vampire, as you know, it's not even just killing them, is it? It's more like incapacitating them. But it slowly kills them as dead man's blood, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is.
Because it incapacitates them, but it would kill them over time. But you have to cut their head off in Supernatural. So again, Gordon's being a dickhead and slowly cutting like little cuts, shallow cut on, so she suffers because that's how much a prick he is. And again, it just goes to show that he's obviously gets a kick out of doing shit like that, making them suffer. And watching them, talks about it a lot, so I can assure that's what probably gets his jollies off. And in this case, I will judge him because he's a dickhead. And again, remember, a vampire will always remember your scent. So if you do something to a vampire in the supernatural world and you survive, they will always know you, no matter where you are. And at the end, they talk about it in season 1. Gordon huts the vampire. Sam takes it out to the farmhouse. Dean says to Gordon, we have some things to talk about. Gordon, get out of my way. You're not serious, Dean, says Gordon. You will have to go through them. Dean takes the bullets from the gun out and Gordon punches him, and then Dean fights with Gordon and taking out his engagement on Gordon because Gordon deserves it. Dean all badass throwing punches, letting him have it. We all want to punch Gordon. He is a bit of a dick. So he goes, Dean, I might be like you, I might not, but you're the one tied up now, referring to the fact that now Gordon's tied up. The sun's up and Gordon's still tied up, and Dean is just looking down at him. Sam is back. Sam, did I miss anything? So Gordon, get comfy. Do you need to tinkle yet? Ripping the fucking piss out of him. Love it. Gordon's raging. He will be hunting the brothers now. Dean hits him one last time and he ends up pushing him over the chair. Dean, we can go. Dean asked Sam to clock him one and he said, I won't even hit back. Go give me a good one. And Sam says he will take a rain check, which means he's got that punch in the bank, hasn't he? So it's like slap bet, but punch bet. Sam says he will have to stick around to be a pain in the ass. Then Sam says don't mention it. Dean looks around, gets back into the Impala and drives, and then it's the supernatural music. So again, that was a wee filler episode, but it was showing you, I had to explain how Dean was acting because this is important for this season and how he actually acts as a human being, as a person, not a hunter, not a brother, not a son, just a human being, just a person on his own, how he acts and his actions. So that's why I was going into how he was acting with his grief, how he was grieving, and the type of grief that he actually has because he's angry and upset all at once. And they have no one there. There's no parents. There's no one. They have Bobby, but Bobby again doesn't really understand. Doesn't have any children, so it's just I had to kind of show you where Dean is right now compared to where Sam is. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, I agree. This was one of those filler episodes that, like I had said, definitely ties into the series.
Had purpose.
Yeah, this is one that actually had purpose. This one was worth it to be explained in full. This is one of those ones that, I didn't mind you going into because it did show how Dean was as a human being and how he was the way he was.
And now we're going to Supernatural Season 2, Episode 4, which is Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. That's not nice. Why do you get to make that decision? Children shouldn't play with dead things. Oh, sorry, I get pissed off with that title. The episode starts with a guy who's in the friend zone, which I hate that fucking term, and I hate it when people do that because it happens in both male and female. No one's any worse. Those are just as bad as each other. Annoys me. Why do women do
agree.
this? I kept saying, why do women do this? Also, men do it. No one's innocent in this. Angela has obviously just had an argument with her boyfriend. She is driving and using her phone. What a dumbass. Driving with your phone without hands free. Really? Don't call and drive, people. If you can't pay attention to what you are doing, then don't fucking drive because a car is a fucking lethal weapon. So do not. Just please pay attention. Don't fucking text and drive. Dean wonders why paying your respects to a gravestone, because they go to the mother's grave because they want to put their dad's dog tags down because their father's died, and obviously there's no body, so you want to put it because some people do that. They will leave wee keepsakes at the grave. So he doesn't understand. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like Dean. I don't understand why people go to a grave and stand there when they're not there. So again, it's just other people's way, but I still don't understand it. Lays the dog tags beside his mother's headstone and says, "Love you, Mom." Dean looking all stoic, like he has no feelings. That's me. Just standing, shaking your head at them. That's when people talk to graves and stuff. That's it. I don't understand why people do that either. The cemetery has a weird tree all withered and it looks out of place. Dean sees there's a perfect circle of dead grass around it, which is weird, or is it a coincidence? Something fishy right beside their mother's grave. We find out that the girl Angela, who obviously crashed her car because she was not driving and paying attention, she was texting, that it hurts her grave that all the weird shit is happening to. So Dean thinks Sam is trying to be Dean's therapist, and you know how that goes. They usually end up hitting each other. He's having none of it. The boys go and visit Angela's dad to offer condolences, and they say that they were her friend, and they pay the respects. Dean notices weird books, and her dad's a Greek professor, so he would have books like that. So again, they explain this in the episode that the books they ask about the books, like just making a question about an observation, and he talks about what he does, and some of the books have like rituals and stuff, but they're old ritualistic spells and stuff. But again, he teaches them in his class because that's what he teaches. It's not like he's just randomly teaching a how to bring back the dead class at university, because that happens. So no, it doesn't happen, I'm assuming. Dean asks, can you feel her presence since she passed? And Sam sympathizes with him and says it's completely normal. Her father is upset and Sam follows up with, I'm sorry. Her ex-boyfriend is watching videos of them together. It's creepy. It's not really creepy, but it's just the way they portray him looking at her. It's like he's like blaming himself and looks like he would do something if the cameras weren't rolling type thing.
He's
Lol.
being sentimental.
Yes, exactly. There's the word. Drinking beer, because that's always good.
Absolutely is.
Exactly. Depressing. And sees a reflection and then he turns and blood spatter in the TV. I doubt he was getting a happy ending when there was blood spatter all over and guts all over the TV, wouldn't you say?
I mean, that's the happy ending for me.
In a perfect world. Do you know what I mean? Why is Sam being this way towards Dean? Dean isn't a sharer. Why is Dean deflecting so much? Is he trying to take on the burden like his father did with the death of their mother? Protecting Sam, protecting himself. Angela's boyfriend took his own life the night before as he kept seeing her everywhere. Back to the motel, Sam is watching the Skin Adult Erotica channel. Is that not supposed to be Dean? Really? You are sharing the room with your brother Sam? Yeah, come on, boundaries. Dean comes. It was actually. I'll cut that bit out. Sorry. They're back in the motel, and Sam is watching the Skin Adult Erotica channel. Really, you are sharing the room with your brother Sam. Come on, boundaries. Dean comes back into the room as it's still playing. It's an advert, but still, naughty puppy. Dean, awkward. Angela's boyfriend slit his own throat, apparently. Dean, I know how to do my job, despite what you might think. Dean has been to the guy's house already. Dead plants like Angela's gravesite. Not a coincidence. Dead goldfish too. Still not getting angry spirit vibe. Dean stole Angela's diary, as you do. The boys pose as grief counsellors and they go visit her BFF, and he is acting shifty. Well, Dean says, burn the bones Sam's response, Angela died a week ago, there are no bones. Dean, since when have you been afraid to get dirty? Oh well. There, Dean. Yes. Dean suspects foul play and the vengeful spirit vibe. Both boys are digging out Angela's grave to deal with the vengeful spirit. Dean says this, ladies first, referring to his brother Sam as the lady. This is, and again, it says this is referring to his brother not being man enough to deal with the situation. Angela kisses the BFF. She said she missed him. Yes, he seems to have brought her back. Inside her coffin is those Greek symbols from the book from her dad's office, making it really creepy. So not only did the best friend bring her back, he looks like he's most likely having sex with a corpse, and that's necrophilia. No matter what, whether you fucking bring her back with a spell, she's dead, you're having sex with her. And she's a wee bit of a mentalist. So, it sounds like it would be fun, but not when she's trying to fucking kill you to stay alive. According to legends, Dean questions her father. He said people stay dead. He said, have you ever seen Pet Cemetery? Which again is true. Dean is told to look around as there are no dead plants. Sam has told Dean to give it up and he's scary as fuck. And Sam wants to help him. He says he doesn't know how to help. Sam feels he's going to lose his brother because of the downward spiral and he's going down with his own grief. Our lives are weird, man. You're telling me. That was Sam to Dean. You always said he didn't deserve me. This is what Angela says to her BFF, who obviously was never noticed by her and used by her. She may have been a nice girl, but she never wanted him. And when he has brought her back and she's now with him, isn't that what you always wanted? You've been watching too much Romero, Sam to Dean about killing a zombie. Neil is a suspect now, which is the BFF. Dean says he has access to all the same books as the dad because he works for Angela's dad. He is a TA, so again, he would have access to all those books and he wouldn't have to ask permission for them, so it wouldn't even look dodgy if he was reading them because that's part of his job. So, no suspect, and what he's the only suspect. Wanting her and bring her back, but she's not alive, so he's into necrophilia. Yes, that's the question I just. The desperate come on. Sorry, that
Just a
desperate
normal Tuesday night.
I know. What I was trying to say is, how can you be that desperate, mate? Come on. There's always someone out there who will do stuff to you because they want it done to them because they are alone. Don't have to be alone to be with them. So, you know what I mean? So there's always, just because he wants apparently the hot girl didn't want him, and that's nice, but it fucking happens. That's what life is like. Moving on. Angela's zombie revenge goes after her roommate and she has been stabbed in the chest. The girl's freaking out by Angela and she gets up. She's about to lunge that blade into the roommate and shots are fired by the brothers and save her. The silver bullets did something, just not enough. They are away to visit Neil to try and stop her and possibly him. Because at this point we don't know what the fuck books he actually has or books he has read and done research on, so he could have other spells at this point. So Dean is literally thinking ahead. I've heard of some people doing some desperate things to get laid, but you take the cake. I thought that was hilarious. Neil, who are you guys? Sam and Dean say they know what Neil's done and they tell Neil that Angela has killed Matt and tried to kill her roommate as well. Dean said they should stay dead. Neil says Angela is at his house, only one way to stop her. We have to stop her, but we need to do a ritual at her grave, and he says no, and Dean tells him no sudden movements and don't make her mad, as she will turn on him and kill him. You said you would stay in the house, you promised. This is what Neil says to Angela. He tries to escape and he's all fidgety. I wonder why, all nervous. And Angela notices it. She responds, are you going to leave me? Ha ha ha. I said, he is going to put you back to where you should be, you mentalist, bunny boiling zombie lady, before you kill anyone else. Again, a lot of words there. Technically, Neil would be to blame for the deaths and attacks as he brought her back. If he didn't, then they would still be alive and not traumatized, although this boyfriend looked like he was going to commit S, so heaven knows. So basically, they're both to blame, but technically Neil is to blame because Neil was the one who actually brought her back. That's basically the resolution. Sam shoots on the head and nothing comes at him. Well done for pissing her off. That's not a very good distraction. Dean repeatedly shoots her and she's in the grave. He stabs her, all Dracula style. She says don't. Of course she's going to say don't. What's dead should stay dead. Dean responds to Angela being brought back. Sam Did I have to be babe? Yes, you are more her type. Dean looks back to his mother's grave and he looks sad, and Sam asks if he wants to stay for a while. He says no, and they drive off in the Impala. Kind of ominous music plays. They're driving down a wooded road and Dean stops. He's very serious and stoic. He's sitting on the hood of the Impala, and Sam asks what is wrong, and he apologises for how he's been acting. He knows it's been wrong, but he's grieving too. He almost died, and now they're alone with no parents. Aw, poor Winchester boy. Dean blames himself for his father's death. His father gave up his life for him to live, and he was a miracle. He knows the demon was involved and the coat is gone. But he doesn't know that Dean knows something, basically, so, and everything is all off. You and Dad were the most important people in my life. He knows something bigger is coming. What could I possibly say that could make it right? Dean to Sam. So the things that should be dead stay dead, referring to him when he was talking about Angela, Dean's guilt. Dean knowing it was his time. That time was taken from him. Does Dean wish his father just left him to die and be in peace? What do you think?
To be honest, I honestly think that he thinks he should have been left to die. Completely. And in my opinion, maybe if he was, things wouldn't have turned out the way they did in the series, and it probably wouldn't have been a long series like it was.
Do you think he feels guilt?
Do I think it was his guilt?
No, do you think Dean feels guilt?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact of their father coming back in their lives, Dean getting put in the position that he was in, I mean, of course he's going to feel guilt. So, I don't know. I think, in a way, I think Dean just wishes that they could actually be a big, happy family.
Yeah. So, Supernatural, Season 2, Episode 5. Simon said, we're going to get a recap again. Hunting things, the family business, and the boys struggle with everything that has happened to them, and them having to pick up the pieces, heal, and be supportive to one another. When they are both different people that have gone through the same ordeal, processing it differently, coping differently, but still being there, showing up, and being accountable. Well done. Now that Dean has fessed up about how he hasn't been coping, he's struggling with the consequences of his father's actions that have led to their father's death. Dean feels tremendous guilt and also hates his father for taking that decision from him. Like he's a child, basically, he'll be feeling like a clock like a small town. A happy man on the phone, then a flash to him holding a gun, then a bus saying downtown, and then walking away again looking happy. Now, this is an actual vision of Sam's. We've seen a wee bit more of his visions now. So he sees, like I said, the clock in a small town, a man on the phone, a doctor. He is then asking about ammo, this doctor, and the doctor's not supposed to be into guns. The salesman thinks that he's taking up a sport, and then Sam kind of wakes up and Dean let's hit the road, and then Sam's face shock and well horror. Let's chill out and think about this. Dean's response. Dean is kind of questioning, is it a vision? Is it just a dream, or is it a vision? That's what they have to work out, if what he's seeing are actual like past events, present events, future events, or are they just his fucked up brain? That's why he's always kind of like, are you sure? Because again, they did that again in one of the episodes with one of the other. Is it one of the other kids? Remember from 1983, same or 1984, the same year as Sam. Remember that episode? It was just like, is it happening? Is it not? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I do remember that one, yeah.
So it says Sam wants to go to the roadhouse, and Dean's worried about someone noticing Sam's abilities because that's what happened. That's why Gordon was following them. Well, will be following them probably forever now, and he can't keep his fucking mouth shut. People talk in that place. It's a fucking pub, and people get drunk. They get loose lips. The ones they speak out of. Before I have to clarify that. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Dean says, you're a freak. And he's like, I am a freak now. Dean's response, you've always been a freak. Roadhouse, and Sam asks about Ash. Ash is our mullet-wearing conspiracy theorist paranoia genius in the Roadhouse. So Joe really flirty with Dean, saying to him, you really can't stay away, can you? Because she is wanting some Dean D. She is really wanting Daddy D's D. Sorry, lots of D's there. So they are going to find this doctor who's got a little trigger happy. They are searching for any demonic anomalies in the town in case there has been something brewing. Does Sam think that there has to be a connection to his visions. I'm not sure. Do you think he does?
Yes, I do actually. I really do.
Rio Speedwagon, Can't Fight This Feeling is on in the Roadhouse. He sings it. Well, Dean sings it, and Joe responds to his musical choice. But again, it's a good song. Fuck you for ripping the piss out of Rio Speedwagon. Sam asked Ash to try and find a fire in 1983/4 with a child in the nursery like his mum. They found another guy whose mother had the same demise as Mary Winchester, and Sam thinks he's seeing these visions or premonitions to put a stop to it. The guy in question uses his unique gifts to mind warp people and get them to do things they wouldn't do, like debt collectors for his girlfriend and stuff. He managed to send them away because he can put stuff in their brain, to think that they've got the money and stuff like that. So he does take full advantage of it. The guy's van, Dean breaks in through the back, and it's where he lives, and he's reading up on some dark things. Dean wants real food one day. Lol. I think it's because there was really shitty food in the back of that guy's vehicle. They're basically tracking him down, and they've found his vehicle at that point. At this point, they don't know there's two of them. There's not one, there's two. They're twin brothers that were given up for adoption, and instead of being adopted together, they were separated, so they've never known about each other, but they have lived close by, but not known or even felt a connection type thing. Because a lot of twins do feel that, and especially ones that have been separated and then they find each other later on. There's been loads of stories, they've done loads of stories about it, research and stuff. And they both have the similar abilities, but it's yin yang type things, and I really did think that about all the kids that become, the chosen ones from, Azazel. They all kind of have they all kind of have visions, or they see random pictures, but then the other ones can make you do things, or you can be telekinetic and stuff. They're not always like that. They maybe can't tap into that part of their power or whatever, I don't know, but they've never really went into it though, have they, about the way their powers are and stuff. The other twin is actually using his for bad. He's the one who's killing all the people that Sam's been seeing, and we find out also that the people that he's killed has actually been the people that he blames for his adoption. He killed their birth mother because she gave them up, I think, become adopted, or someone else was killed who had to do with the adoption. The brother who's doing the killing wants his brother to himself, his twin to himself. So it's basically about fighting for attention. So he's going to kill his girlfriend and everything like that. And that's when Sam again kind of tells him that he's like him again. He just likes to out himself, doesn't he? When they try to keep it a fucking secret. Sam must have the attention.
He does. I don't know. He does. I never understood why he opened his
Announces
whole time when he just loves being like, "Hey, by the way, I'm like you."
I'll tell you, and you can fucking find my location. Woo. Yep. So, what is he? I'm just coming down. The guy looks a bit like Elijah Wood, but a bargain bin Elijah Wood. What the fuck? The guy did actually look like him. It's will he get away? Guy look. He has coaxed her into thinking she can fly. Yeah, he starts doing all that weird shit. Tracy's between them. She has to die. Blah blah blah. Dean, you be good, Andy, or we will be back. Dean says he's a hero for saving his girlfriend, but Sam says he's a killer. Again, he killed his twin from doing any more harm, I think it seems. Killed all those people. So I see you, bye-bye to Dean, and Dean goes to shoot himself, but the good twin shoots him, yeah. I just wanted to clarify it was he gets shot. So he kills his brother to save his girlfriend. So that's why Sam is saying that. But again, if he didn't kill his brother, then his brother probably would have tried to kill Sam and Dean and still get shot anyway by one of the Winchesters, if that happened. Dean gets a call from Ellen at the Roadhouse, and they show up, and Ellen is unhappy with Joe and has been short with her, and she said, explain the last time and explain why this guy had some same crap happen to his family. So they're just going on and on and about all the shit that's going. Well, they don't know how many there are. I'm trying to think how many there are. There's Sam, and then there is that boy, those twins technically, Ava, 6, I think. Is it 6? 6 kids? No, 7?
7, I
Actually,
do believe.
and one died, so that left 6.
Yes.
Right, okay. So I was like, yeah, I forgot about that lassie who just randomly no one had met before. It's like, what the fuck? She wasn't in season 1. Dean tries to tell Ellen to back the fuck off, that this is a family matter, it's none of your business, fuck you, to Ellen. Ellen said something bad is coming, so no more secrets. It's coming for everybody, basically, and not just you. Sam explains about his powers, something Dean has been protecting him and keeping it from everyone to protect him so other hunters don't start hunting him. Because again, he would become the hunted. If they found out he had something to do with a demon and something to do with the end of the world, they would fucking try and take Sam out. You know they would, whether they knew the facts or not. He was involved. That's it, isn't it?
That's how it would go. Absolutely.
Some are dangerous, not all, but they sometimes don't ask questions, they just shoot. It says they've been tracking people, weather storms, house fires, etc. If they have been adopted, no one knows anything and their records scrubbed. Was this the plan all along with the babies, etc. born? Did they know that there would be a few that would not be picked up on the radar due to how they were born, etc.? Because that would be a wee bit of a... Do you know what I mean? If they knew that, say, half of them would be adopted, and then they wouldn't come up in the radar and stuff because they're not, you know, because it would be in the system for something else. And they wouldn't have been adopted probably till later on. So if they failed in the first half, they'd still have a back. Ellen is in and she is working with the boys. Now, she's being typically motherly to protect the people she loves and cares for. A hunter's family is sometimes the only connection they have, and it keeps their humanity. Is what they have to deal with and what they see can take their humanity and make them unstable, very, very dangerous, as you've seen with Gordon. I feel Ellen wants the boys to trust her and to know that she has their back and she will do what she can to protect them. Like this, take this evil down once and for all, as John would do the same in that position. What do you think?
She did become really motherly. Towards the end of that episode or the middle of that episode. I mean, I definitely agree with the statement that being, a hunter is pretty much the only family you pretty much have left because nobody else can either A, trust you, or nobody believes you in what you're doing.
So it's No Exit and it's on episode 6. Recap again, Ellen's first meeting with the boys, bringing into the mix for the future. That's what he did in season 1. She's now helping with her owning and she is now helping with, because she owns and runs the roadhouse. She can keep her ear to the ground and be able to listen out for anything that may be important or if other people are talking, so she can know if people are talking about Sam or anything like that. She can report back to the boys if anything weird and dark happens to see if it's any importance. The less people that know who are involved, the better. They will be at catching the demon, or so you would think. So we in Philadelphia now. Female on the phone complaining to her landlord about the shitty wiring. Right, okay, this house, this is about pretty women of a certain age being taken and not been found again, and it's a new apartment building that's been built on an old prison, well, beside an old prison, should I say, and they did a lot of hangings.
Like that ever,
Turns out, yeah.
Yeah, it turns out good.
Well, this has basically been going on for, I think it's every 20 years. It says 8 women have vanished into thin air over 80 years, sorry. Yeah, 8 women have vanished into thin air in 80 years. So the apartment block actually hasn't been built on the prison. It's the ground beside it where they did the hangings, like when they had the death penalty. So that's pretty much the bad juju's coming from there. The boys end up in they go with Joe, because it's Ellen's daughter who's been tracking it and everything like that. Her mum doesn't want her to go because her dad was a hunter and he died in the line of duty basically. So she doesn't want to lose her daughter to that life. She doesn't want her to be out there. She wants her to do something else. But obviously Joe, she goes, but Dean doesn't tell her mum that she's tagged along, does she? So they pretend to be a couple, get in an apartment and try and basically bait the spirit. The spirit ends up being H.H. Holmes, which is America's first serial killer, was it not? Mass murderer, serial killer, mass murderer. What was he?
Yeah,
A
mass murderer.
He was the first one, and he was hung basically where the house is, where the apartments are now. So they find out that he's abducting pretty young single women from their apartments. He's in the walls and stuff, and God knows what he's got. His spirit is manifesting, and it's like in not the sewer. It's kind of was the kind of sewers they went down. I'm trying to think they went down to the sewers. That's how they managed to destroy them, and it was like underneath. They didn't like knock down whatever was underneath. It was just the building on top. So it was like they managed to basically they just do what they do with ghosts. Joe gets abducted. They find her. Then they get out the person that was taken. What else? It's just a filler episode again. So it's just like they put cement down the sewer to keep them obviously from coming back. Ellen knows, by the way, at this point, that her daughter is here and she comes out anyway. She's not happy. Dean jokes about how Ellen, Joe's mother, is scary, and this is when he's looking at a file of a case when he sees Ellen, Joe's mum, must bite when he she hands my file and she's like really nasty about it. That's pretty much the gist of that. So again, filler episode, but it's showing Joe wants to be like her father, a hunter, and she went to college and she didn't fit in like Sam. That's why I thought it kind of tied in with this episode.
Yeah, I mean it absolutely did because she tried doing the whole Sam thing and didn't fit in. Sam did fit, but it wasn't the life that he wanted altogether.
Yeah. So all young blonde women over time basically have been killed. When they're in the car and they're driving back, As Cold as Ice is playing by Foreigner, isn't it? And Ellen is in the car and giving them all silent treatment and stuff. And that plays, and he's smiling, and Ellen switches it off. Dean said he was sorry he lied. Dean says Joe did a good job and you would be proud of her. She knows what she's doing. Like he's trying to say to her mum that look, if she did this every once in a while, she would be safe. She's not stupid. She knows what she's doing. She's smart about it. Ellen just admitted that John killed Joe's father after he says this, and she says she doesn't want her daughter going with them, especially because she can't trust a Winchester because history has a way of repeating itself with the Winchesters. Jo is angry she found out that John was the last job that her father went on, and it says, and his father couldn't look at Ellen anymore, or Joe, because of the guilt, because he got her partner killed. Why take it out on the boys? Dean and Sam aren't like John, they're not. Ellen badass, but also irresponsible. Would you be like Ellen? Why keep the roadhouse on if it meant she was reminded that of the life, the hunter life even, that took her family away? What do you think of those questions?
I think it's sentimental value, to be honest with you. I think she keeps it because, yes, she doesn't want to be reminded by that life, but there's a reason why she's reminded by that life, and that life is sentimental to her. So I think that's probably a reason why she has held on to it for so long.
Okay, so we have a kind of filler episode next called The Usual Suspects, and Linda Blair is in it. You remember that episode?
I absolutely do remember that episode. I
Because we
actually
joke
really
about it.
enjoyed that episode too.
I didn't. I thought it was really boring.
I mean, it was for the most part, but for the reason why I liked it was because of Linda Blair being in it.
So basically, she's a detective. It's her and her partner, and there's a double homicide, and they arrest Sam and Dean for it. That FBI agent. So basically, the Dean was down as dead, but now he's now in the system again. So if anything flags up, basically they're supposed to stay under the radar. But this time they get caught as a double homicide. I can't remember this episode, by the way. That's why I'm having to read what I said. But then another filler episode, yes, and it was boring, yeah. But Linda Blair's character sees the ghost and wonders if she's next to die. Right, people are seeing a ghost. They don't know what's keeping her here. And she's showing Yeah. The detective reads out Sam's life. He's fucking with her, saying the second biggest ball of twine. As he said, he was on a road trip with Dean, and that's why he's always in these places. She visits Dean and he tells her to find Sam and let him save her. She shows him her wrists after seeing the ghost. This is Linda Blair. Right now, you have to talk to me, Sam, to the detective. Sam gives crime scene photos to the detective and she goes mental because he shouldn't fucking have them because it's illegal to do that of an ongoing investigation. So it's like, don't ask where I get my stuff, basically. Because again, you can go to jail for that, can you not, in America?
Yeah, it's basically
Tampering,
what's the term? Yeah, tampering with evidence.
obstructing a crime scene, that would be, so an ongoing investigation. So serious stuff. Don't do it, kids. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Don't do it. And the other episode with the woman who was texting and driving and died. Don't text and drive. Be safe. Don't be stupid.
I said that about 10 times, I think, in that episode. So there is a spirit showing up, and they find out because it's really boring. It's basically just victims, people not knowing. There's another agent, and he is always playing dodgy characters in sci-fi and like kind of horror stuff. This guy. So when you see him, if you can remember him, you understand why. So he apparently he is a not very nice police officer. He's a detective, yes, but he's not a very nice one. He was sleeping with one of his CIs, and I think she was a drug addict and she died, but at the hands of him, it sounds like, and she's like haunting him, basically. And then Linda Blair's character, Elsa, finds out because she's wearing a necklace similar to the woman who died, who's showing up, the spirit, and they find out that Pete, the detective, gave her the same necklace. The same necklace. That's not creepy at all. You gave your partner one that you have a sleepmate, it sounds like, and then you gave your CI, who's a drug addict as well, the same necklace. Okay, that's weird and creepy. But anyway, so they find out it's him, and the death omen is what's happening now. So Elsa asks, apparently she should be at rest now because we found the truth. That's basically what it is. She's trying to get her killer, basically. Try to get justice and get her killer caught, basically. And they do it. But again, this is flagged up on the police type FBI kind of watch list, is it not, for both of them? So she said that she'll just tell him she turned her back and they walked away, basically. So that's the boring ass episode. I kept losing my train of thought because the episode is so boring.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I like the next episode, Crossroad Blues, which is episode 8. Do you like this episode?
Yes, I do. I did like this episode. This episode was actually really good for me. Just because, well, one, I just love the title of it, but it was a very good episode.
This is now introducing a different part of the universe. We do see the demons from time to time, but we're seeing the Crossroads demons, and the Crossroads demons make a few appearances in Supernatural. Episode is based around the blues legend and his tales of the Crossroads demons, in which he sold his soul for the blues, is actually lyrics in a song. Like I said, oh goody, I love this episode. Greenwood, Mississippi. Showing an old saloon bar with a man playing some sweet riffs on guitar. And then you can hear sounds, like sounds of hounds. First sign of hellhounds in Supernatural. Only you can hear them. If you've made the deal with the Crossroads demon for whatever reason it is, when your time is up, well, you don't get to say, nah, I'm not ready to go, I'm not going, your time is up. The hellhounds are coming for your soul to take it to hell for torture forever. Based actions do have consequences. Making deals always has a consequence. Money, wealth, fame, you name it, these hounds are coming to drag you to hell. The musician barricades himself into a building and it looks like he's having a seizure, but he keeps seeing Black Dog and he keeps looking across around her neck and the blues playing in the background as he takes his last breath, because they're literally on him. You can see them and no one else can see them. People just think you're getting fucked up, I think, or is it just literally having a heart attack? It looks like, I think. It's a heart attack, isn't it? You can see it, like, obviously in the show, but if it's out with, it would be just looking like you were dying. There is no running and there is no hiding from the hellhounds. It's their job to collect their toll. Lyrics of the Blues have tales about the Crossroad Demon. Sam tells Dean he's got to be careful when hacking into government databases because of outstanding warrants, etc. from the previous case. I said that also, that they flagged themselves up like dumbasses again. Sam brings up a new case about someone talking about black dogs. No one else saw it, no one else heard it, which is basically hellhound. The victim was articulate and he came from nowhere. He worked in a bar, then he just started designing, creating the most amazing buildings, the best at what he did, like a prodigy. The partner in the business was like, why throw away that talent by killing yourself? Dean doesn't know what MySpace, he thinks it's porn. Yeah, talking about MySpace and he thinks it's porn, lol. 19 complaints about black dogs and a doctor is one of them. They find out she also went to Lloyd's bar at the crossroads. And then she became this amazing doctor surgeon, basically. Sam and Dean are at Lloyd's bar and they're looking around. Dean notices the crossroads and there all the yellow flowers used in summoning spells. That's what Dean turns around and says, aren't they used for summoning spells? So, 10 years ago, both the architect and the doctor drank at that bar, and obviously they've made deals. There is an offering in the middle of the crossroads used to summon a demon, a crossroads demon, where pacts are made. Deals 10 years of success for a soul, is it worth it? Nope, it isn't. 10 years goes in a flash. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I do agree, but that would also be the best 10 years of my life.
Rosedale, Mississippi. You see the musician making a deal and summoning the Crossroads demon, red eyes and demonic beautiful woman. He says he wants to play guitar, be the best blues man ever lived. So we shake on it. Oh no, it's sealed with a kiss. The demon disappears. He takes his guitar and looks at it. Robert Johnson, he died choking on his own blood talking about black dogs. All his writings talk about his deal with the occult. Dean is explaining this to Sam, the uneducated swine, for not knowing about this musician. I felt that way too. Boys are at a room and notices something at the door. Goofadus or something. But Dean says the shaker is wrong to keep something out, use salt, and the man looks shocked. Dean says, have you seen that hellhound yet? And the man is an artist, but he makes fun of the boys because they don't know about Goofada. He says it's voodoo to keep evil out, and he was taught this by his grandmother, so he knew something that the boys didn't even know. Another victim waiting on his time, and his name is Evan, meaning he's hearing the hellhounds already, and seeing demonic images on the face of his wife as well. Dean goes to Crossroads, and well, the demon is there first time. Crossroads demon is pretty hot though. She called Dean edible. Well, I've got to agree there. Sorry. Dean takes her.
No comment. No comment.
Dean takes her to the Impala. Sam is putting Goofadust around Evan's door. Dean tries to lure the demon to a devil's trap. You're fucked, mate. That's what my response was. The hellhounds are behind the door. Dean tells the demon to end his misery, but she is for misery. She says that she could have given him his daddy, but he was about to make a stupid mistake. It's Dean. Silence, but then a bark. It's here. Demon is good at the sale. It says you're supposed to be dead. He's not making him feel guilty. And do you think you could throw in a set of steak knives? Lol. And he did trap her under the devil's trap, as he had painted it somewhere on someone else. He brings out the hunter's journal when he's bargaining, as she won't do as he asks, so he starts doing a spell to send her to hell herself. So the circle of Goofaduffs is broken. Sam takes away and tries to keep the hounds from entering by holding the door shut, and the demon shouts, wait, sealed with a kiss. A deal? The deal. She asks him to let her go, but he's going to send her to hell anyways. Then she says she'll come for him when he breaks the seal. Hell is just a word, but living it is much more. She was tormenting Dean. Then she escapes the body and the human is unsure how she got there. Demons lie all the time, Sam says. John did the ultimate sacrifice, yet he went to hell, not heaven, even though he gave up his life for his son. How many people do you think Dad has saved? His legacy is what they were taught and the job they continue to do. John did that. He lives on through the boys. Dean plays music on the radio, and when he doesn't want to talk about things that could upset him or mess with his judgment. Deflecting much, Mr. Winchester. Do you think Dean realizes that his dad did love him and that he wanted to live and continue being a hunter and keeping Sam safe? What did John whisper to Dean before he died? So what do you think?
About the episode, or just the fact of what did John whisper?
What did John whisper? Also, it's John did the ultimate sacrifice, yet he went to hell, not heaven, even though he gave up his life for his son. But he ended up in hell because it was obviously a different situation. And it was also, do you think Dean realizes that his dad loved him and that he wanted to live and continue being a hunter and keeping Sam safe?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that. I really do think that the reason why he still went to hell was because that was part of the deal.
Yeah.
Um,
But still, when you think about it, if it's went by like Christian logic, he did the ultimate sacrifice. He did the selfless thing.
yes.
He gave himself up. So it's like a double
Yeah, I mean, he did
negative.
self-sacrifice. Yeah, he did do the self-sacrifice. He did give himself up. But at the same time, there also comes a point to
He killed
how
someone.
how much good is good that will actually get you. So it's kind of hard to justify in a way, but who knows? Maybe it's just the way things worked out, I guess.
Well, we're on episode 9, which is Croatoan, and this is not a filler episode. This has something to do with the main story, to do with Sam and Azizel, which is the yellow-eyed demon. So Croatoan is a humongous lore urban legend, and it varies in who tells it. Again, lots of shows have actually touched on Croatoan or aspects of Croatoan and kind of made it their own. Basically, a bunch of people disappeared, didn't they? And they were never found. And they called it Croatoan, wasn't it?
Yes. Sorry, I always get caught up on that word, Croatone. I love it.
I know, I really like how it feels when you say it. It's weird. That's one of the things, being autistic, certain words I like to say because they feel good.
Yes, and I'm not, and I just love hearing it. So, I mean, we have our shticks, I guess.
So Croatoan is what I said, wasn't it? It's basically a whole town, a settlement just disappeared and they were never found.
Yes.
So it starts at the end and works its way back. So basically what they're doing is they're showing you something that happens right at the end of the episode first, and they have done that with the shapeshifter episode. So they have. And they showed you the ending or the midway through, and then they started. So in this episode, it's a small town, like kind of in the middle. They said the next town was like what 400, I think it was 400 miles away or something like that. I'm not sure. I can't really remember. It's a small town basically where they obviously kind of are as self-sufficient probably as a town can be, and this town ends up having to have a full shutdown because it looks like there's a pathogen basically making people mental, which I find highly amusing. A small town with crazy people. It's like, they're writing someone's life here. They really, really are.
There's never a small town with crazy people.
Exactly. So Dean and Sam go to this wee town because, again, this is a vision of Sam's. So that's why they end up here and they don't know why. They're just discussing, again, Sam's visions. And they're just discussing about Mary and Jessica and if they think all this is connected and stuff. So they're just like talking about things that are going on in their life. They're posing as US Marshals. Again, don't do this, people. Don't do this, kids. Because again, it's so many flags of illegal. And asking a townsperson's ex-military if they knew the guy from the description they gave them. Because Sam saw a few of the residents of the town in his vision, and that's what they're going on, basically. The guy's like a Navy SEAL or something like that because he was talking about it because his dad, whatever his dad was, it was the same as his dad. Anyway, with the tattoo. And that's how he kind of like builds up a rapport. Like, even though it's just a simple report. It's again for the end of the episode, you'll understand why. So he wants to build up a kind of trust, basically. So it's a US Marshal, that's what it is. So they're about to go and see the guy who lives in a farm because that's what the Marshal had said. He said that the guy's quiet and he doesn't understand US Marshals would be looking for him. So they go to this farm and one of the kids answers the door and he's like kind of weird as fuck, and you find out that him and the dad have been, I don't know what the fuck, it's like they've managed to get the pathogen in them and it turns them mental, and they're trying to turn everybody to see how long it takes you, to turn and stuff and what you end up being able to do. So they try and do it to the mum, and Sam and Dean are at the house and they know something's up, so they burst in. They take the mum to the police station. Is it? I think it's the police station, or it's the doctors or something. And this is where they discuss again Croatoan, again a lost colony, because it's mentioned on a flagpole in the little town. Someone has like scratched in, it says Croatoan. So Dean didn't pay attention in school, you find out, what a shocker. They try and get help from Bobby and Ellen, but their phones, there's no signal, nothing, they can't call anybody and they can't leave. And they find that out when people start showing up, when folk are going nuts and they're in the doctors. They're trying to test the blood to see what's going on. They know there's something they've been given, or it's blood related because they were talking about it, they tried to bleed on me type thing. So there's so many, there's there's a doctor, a nurse, and then the boy they were looking for, Sam and Dean, and then the marshals. So there's 6 of them in there, but they think the mother has had blood on her from them, so they've got her tied up, so they don't know if she's been turned yet. You have to kill them, unfortunately. You have to shoot them in the head. You have to kill them because if they infect you, then it's literally crazy. So we find out that one of the neighbours is called Mr. Rogers, which again, you'll find that funny because of something. Apparently, it's not here in the UK, so get Mr. Rogers a character.
Yes, Mr. Rogers. I love that. I love that series when I was a kid. It was a kids series. He was very, very. He basically taught kids how to be respectful and have manners and everything like that. So yeah, there's an irony to that character in question in that episode.
So the blood residue has sulfur around it when they're looking through the microscope. And sulfur is a big indication for demons. That's yellow eyes, sulfur. So he thinks Sam has been infected by the nurse because she got infected. Sam thinks it's the 4 horsemen, like a demon that's known for disease, etc. Like the 4 horsemen in the apocalypse. There's, what is it? I can't remember. Disease, basically, famine and all that carry on that's what he thinks that this represents, this Croatoan attempt. That's what Sam thinks, which could be, you never know. So he's got a lot of insight about that. The moon was like, yeah, she bled on him. That's not necessarily true as it starts. Dean it's like, even again, that they said if the blood I think the blood has to get into a cut. See the way I've wrote it? When I think about the show, just because they bleed on you doesn't mean you get infected. You have to have it they have to put it in your mouth, or they would have to put up your nose or put it in your eye or cut you and put the blood in. They would have to do that to actually get it into you. It wouldn't just go through your skin. I think that's what they're trying to say. They tested everybody and everybody was like, oh, A-OK. Dean doesn't want anybody to take out Sam, but Dean doesn't want to take out Sam, but Sam wants to go and kill himself if anything was to happen, basically. They're all obsessed. The Marine was like, she bled on him. Again, we've said you'd have to ingest it somehow, or it'd have to go in your eye or something like that, or your cut and the blood and your blood mixed together, basically. That's how you would actually become infected. So because it's like Sam, they weren't sure if they were infected, but Dean couldn't do it. But the nurse was infected and she wanted to leave, and she tries to infect Sam like a nut job. Yeah, I remember that. She runs right across him and tries to infect him And that's when they find out about her. She was quite agitated actually, that nurse. Do you not remember that she wanted to go home to her partner and she couldn't leave him by herself?
Yeah. She was.
Quite agitated. You ain't getting rid of me that easy. That's what Dean says to Sam. The virus was completely gone. It was weird. It was like they were there for like maybe 12 to maybe what? Would you say it was 12 hours they were there for? Maybe slightly longer, maybe 18 hours. They were in a town where you couldn't leave. People went mental. Folk got shot, and there was no like phone service, nothing. No one could get contacted, and people had went crazy at the borders of town and stuff, and not letting people in or out. And you find out that it
Yeah.
you find out it was actually an experiment, and they wanted Sam to go there because they wanted to test to see how these types of disease actually affected the chosen ones, basically. And Sam
Yep.
wasn't affected like at all. So
Nope.
that's you find that out that wrestler has the character is not called wrestler in this. He asks to pull over because he's going to make a call, and he brings out the bowl like Meg. Then he stabs the marshal and takes his blood. And then that's when he discusses whoever they're talking about. They're talking about Sam, and they're talking about, how everything all went to plan and stuff. And then it just kind of ends that episode. But they said that the Winchester Boys are immune as expected. So a test to see if they're able to deal what they're able to deal with. It said nothing left behind, meaning that he's dealt with the whole town basically, or he's about to deal with the whole town, so no one knows about it or finds out about it, and it'll be like another mystery, I think, like Croatoan.
Yep.
Dean said he was sick of the job, and he said we all have days like this. And then we have episode 10, which is called Hunted. They probably have nothing else to say about that since we've already spoke about it. Croatoan.
Oh yeah. No, nothing else to say because yeah, it pretty much is covered throughout that whole.
This is called Hunted, and it's episode 10. You know the truth about Sammy and the other families, the demon to John, and he said, yes, I have known for a while. Yet he didn't share. Is that what he said to Dean before he died? That he knew and the other families? He was telling his son, Dean, basically, you know the truth about Sammy. This is going to happen to other people, and the demon caused it all. That's pretty much, and we don't know if Sam is going to become a demon or something. It's going to be something stupid, or he's going to you know what I mean? Because he didn't know what his actual proper purpose was exactly
Yeah,
yet.
and I mean throughout that whole, well, every single season, I mean, Daddy Douchebag is so worried about Sam and Dean becoming demons and yada yada yada.
So they're in the shrink's office, and there's a guy explaining that he can do stuff, and he's been having dreams like Sam. I think I jumped to the front as well. His powers have the ability to touch and fry people from the inside out. Wow. Song playing is Follow the White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. It's the special one walking, and he's looking paranoid because he's like walking to his car, and that song Follow White Rabbit, because the way White Rabbit starts, it literally, if you looked behind you, it would feel like someone was watching you. Do you get what I mean with that song, where it's describing, one pill makes you larger and one makes you small, and it's just like the music in the background and the kind of noises they use. If you were like on a dark alley and you turned round, you would be kind of freaked out if that song was playing, especially if it's dark. So apparently there's a hunter, and he takes the blade out. So who is it? Who's killing them? Who's killing the special people? That's what this episode's about. And that's why it's called Hunted. Dean, before Dad died, he told me something about you. He said that he wanted me to watch out for you and take care of you. He said that I had to save you. He said if I couldn't, I would have to kill you. So that's what his daddy said to him just as he got away from death's door. He told him that. That's enough to make you shit yourself. With shock. Is it not? Imagine having to
Yeah,
process
pretty
that.
much. Pretty much.
See, Daddy Douchebag. Daddy Douchebag strikes again. Sam is raging with Dean for not telling him what their dad had said about killing him. If he couldn't stop him from what? Dean is freaking the hell out and not sure what the hell is going on. Dean says lay low until they can work shit out. he is asking him to give him more time, so they can work stuff out. Sam decides to break into a car where they are staying, it seems, and he has left the Velvet Inn Motel, and he looks shifty, because he did look shifty as fuck. Sam is in a house that seems to have fire damage, and he has tripped an explosion, and a girl has woke up. It's Ginger from Ginger Snaps, and she saw Sam and his demise. If these ain't warnings or signs, then what are they? Sam has shown up at the roadhouse, and Ellen says Dean had been phoning him like the big brother he is, wondering where he is, because Sam is just a douche that runs away, just like Daddy. Sam has found out Joe's away hunting against her mother's wishes. Ellen said she forgave John a long time ago, but she still thinks John didn't forgive himself for what had happened to her Bill. Of course not. He obviously did not. Ash has found 4 people that were born in 1983 to find the kids, who are like Sam. The guy who was at the start, who was taken out, his dad is talking about how he changed over the past year. He had headaches, paranoia, and just not himself. Sam is in his room and he's looking at his meds, and he takes one of the bottles, but looks and sees all the yellow eyes from the magazines, as it's the yellow-eyed demon is telling him. So yes, the yellow-eyed demon is what the kid and the guy in the shrink's office was going on about. Yellow Eyes appears to him and tells him shit, because he's creepy. Because that doesn't sound creepy, does it? Again, I say that term a lot, but a yellow-eyed demon coming to you in your dreams telling you to do things? That's all sorts of wrong. Was the girl who woke up with the dream of Sam being killed, and she's called Ava. And she saw the guy at the start a few days before it happened, and then she only realised that it was him because it was in the newspaper. And she realised that she saw it before it happened. Gordon is shooting and killing the special ones, and Dean beats him up. But that's a really big, big beating, though, that Dean gives Gordon on top of that wee flat roof place where he's been watching Sam from the motel. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
It was a big beating. So Dean, just before that, they have just met Ava, and she's freaking out because Sam exists. So she obviously seen the hotel, which she explains that she saw the hotel in her dream or vision. So, and took it and heard his name and kind of worked it out and found where they were staying. Apparently, Dean gets beat up and dragged away by Gordon. You know, that dickhead who was killing all the vampires. They phone Sam, and Sam and Dean have a safe word, which is Funky Town. So he knows that he's in trouble and he's been captured. He says, I am not a killer, I am a hunter, and your brother is fair game. That is Gordon, you are fucked up now. Gordon has been killing the special army that Yellow Eyes created. He also is going to take out Dean in the process, and he has a bloody death wish because Dean's not going to die quietly. No. Apparently, he found out information about Sam, about the boys from the roadhouse, because they do contact Ellen and say that someone's talking about Sam and Dean and their dad and the yellow-eyed demon, isn't it? So they know something. Sam shows up to actually save his brother, and that's what Ava sees, and so does Sam. And he doesn't. They all see different parts, so they give him. It's like a warning about the tripwire, because that's what he keeps seeing all the time, is like him being blown up by a tripwire, and so did Ava. Because Gordon, in his infinite wisdom, has put booby traps everywhere because he wants to fucking kill him. So Gordon should have get taken out in the last episode he was in, because he's annoying. So again, it's just really the brothers sticking up for each other, in my honest opinion. This episode, and Ava finding out who she is. Dean says screw the job, how about going to Amsterdam? Dean doesn't believe in destiny or Sam's. Sam, you can't run from this, you can't protect me, and Dean says try. Sam's response was thanks for that. Whatever is coming, and Sam is taking it head on, and I think Dean is too. or he's actually in front of Sam protecting him, because that's the type of brother he is. When you're saving the world all the time doesn't mean you can't get some nookie. That was hilarious. Love his wee quotes, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong all the time. I mean, you're a big brute saving the world. You better get some.
Exactly. Sam decides to go check on Ava, and her fiance is dead. And he's covered in blood. And there's sulphur along the window, and our engagement ring is on the floor, and Sam holds the ring and says, Ava? It's pretty much that episode. Gordon comes to town killing people, and he finds some more people. Unfortunately, a couple have been killed. Or maybe it was 10. I'm not sure. So what do you think of that episode?
It was pretty important because it does explain a lot about Dean in the past and everything like that, and Sam with his abilities and basically seeking out others that have the same abilities, but also dealing with a fellow hunter who basically is trying to kill someone who's not a demon, kind of defeats the purpose of actually what a hunter is being called for.
You still think Gordon's a dick?
Oh, of course, absolutely. He always was, always has been, and always will. There's no doubt in my mind that he's not. None at all.
Season 2, episode 11 is called Playthings. Recap, it's Sam and Destiny and being special, and now there's Ava, him holding the ring and saying her name. This episode is a filler episode. This is based on probably God knows how many lore-ish type, not even urban legends, but actual things that may have happened in like Victorian times. Right, the old Pierpoint Inn used to be a massive mansion. A family lived there. They lived at the back apparently, and then they had the guest house at the front. Apparently they had 2 presidents that actually had stayed there, but they are having to sell up because no one really spends time in guest houses, and like, you know, the people are not into old fashioned things and old fashioned ways. They're internet and Airbnb and all that kind of. They're not really that bothered about going to a nice guest house to stay and having like a nice place to go. So she's having to sell up her place. She has a daughter named Tyler. You see her running about with someone called Maggie, a little girl. She was in the 4400. You see the kids playing a lot. Apparently, every time anything is mentioned about moving, the person ends up coming to an untimely demise. Can you remember that episode now?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I definitely remember the episode. It wasn't a great episode for me, didn't really care for it. Not only that, again, filler episode. Woo!
Yep, so the wee girl obviously is dodgy. She's a wee dodgy wee girl. Then boys say something about Maggie and Tyler, and he says no, Maggie's her imaginary friend. And then that's when they find out that's probably not an imaginary friend. That's probably a spirit that's attached itself to that child, because of, again, it could be the fact that the mum works all the time, so the kid would be neglected. Our grandmother, we find out, is very, very sick and has had a stroke, and they keep her in the attic of all fucking places, which is not creepy at all, with a wee light bulb, with no lampshade, in the bare bones floor. Do you know what I mean? Of our family ancestral home. Okay, very, very weird. The wee Maggie girl is a spirit, and we find out that she's actually the grandmother's sister who was killed when she drowned in the pool, and the last hope of keeping Tyler with her, she lures her to the pool house to drown her, basically, because the only way to keep her there to play with her all the time would be if she died, basically, which is quite creepy that she'd go to that extent. And then the grandmother kind of telepathically says to Maggie that she wants to basically leave Tyler alone, like take me instead type thing, and she passes away. And then you hear the kids laughing and stuff and playing at the end. Nothing happens really, and the boys kind of just go off. The only good thing about that episode is that Sam gets incredibly drunk and can't handle mixing his spirit, and Dean rips the piss out of him when he's drunk, and then when he's absolutely hung over and hanging like a washing, as we'd call it, or hanging like a washing, as we call it here, because you're so rough the next day. He talks about like a fried egg in an ashtray or something like that to really piss him off, and he's hanging onto a toilet being sick. That is probably the best part of that episode. I thought I'd keep it to the end. So what do you
Yeah, I
think?
mean, absolutely, that was probably the best part of that episode, just because it, played out towards the end.
I also said, worst alcohol experience that's ever made you say never again, and what gave you the fear? The fear is the really bad hangovers that are like crazy creepy. That's what we call them in Scotland, the fear. So that was my question to you. What's alcohol experience that's made you say never again? So what alcohol has ever made you say even never again? And what gave you the fear? Is there
Um,
one?
Well, I don't get hangovers that often, or ever, to be honest, and that's kind of a good thing and a curse all at the same time. Alcohol that has made me say never again. It's either a toss up between vodka or tequila. Yeah, it's got to be one of those two.
And what has gave you the fear?
Drawing a blank on that one.
You just Oh, mine was drinking the guts of a bottle and a half of single malt, and then drinking then I had a blackout, and the blackout version of me happens. It it's never good because then I drink everything and I don't drink champagne. And I drank a lot of champagne and I was putting it in my whiskey. That's how blackout drunk I was. I couldn't tell you what happened after 5:30 in the evening because I got so incredibly wasted being there all day and only drinking protein shakes,
Well,
and I was ill.
I want to
7
recant
days.
this because I was sitting here thinking about it. Yeah, so it's going to be Tennessee Honey for me. I don't really remember too much of that night. I do remember pretty much everything, but there's only one thing I don't remember.
I also fell off a chair, one of those spinny chairs that kind of looks like a Doctor Evil chair, but if you don't sit in it right, it literally topples over. Yeah, I toppled over onto very, very cold, hard stone, like flooring, like it's tiles, like a tiled floor, face first, falling off a seat. Or the toilet it's maybe have been as well. I don't remember any of these things. I still don't remember these things. I get a wee bit of flash every now and then, like a Sam vision, to just go, hello, remember when this happened? No? Well, here's a recap. Do you know what happened? But yeah, that's the worst time I got drunk. I can't remember it. And waking up with a blue arm and a blue tongue. That was another one. With the drunk reminiscence. This is a filler episode again. Basically a bank robbery and shit. It's a vision, I think, is it not? I'm
I
sure
think
it
so, yeah.
is. And it's a mandroid. It's basically a shapeshifter because their eyes glow up on the camera, and some crazy guy calls it a mandroid. So basically, what happens? What ends up happening? They take Dean's face again and they flag him up on FBI radar. Really? Really? Oh, because if he gets caught, he wouldn't be able to protect him. That's the way I wrote that question. Like, see if Dean was actually caught instead of the shapeshifter when he was wearing his face and he went to jail, then he couldn't save Sam on the outside. And then the inevitable would end up happening to Sam. Meaning he would just give it up, just walk away from, protecting him. That's what I feel like this season's really about. He's just like given another like compromising situation of you've got to protect him because something's going to happen to him. It's not just you've just got to protect him for being a brother. You've got to protect him from our world now, not just the world in general. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is the protector. I mean, but yeah, if Dean would get captured, there'd be no reason anything to really happen anymore, to be honest. So
I said, was this the demon's plan to make it more difficult for Dean to protect them from what was coming? This war they keep speaking of.
yes, yes, it's gonna be the best answer for it.
The song playing, which is one of my favourites, and it sticks Renegade, as the boys have got out dressed as SWAT and are now in the Impala, so they managed to escape. Sam says we are totally screwed all the times they have escaped the law and shit is over as they now have been flagged by the FBI and are on their radar. they would accrue some shit over the years because of the identity theft and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Identity theft is bad, kids. Don't do it. I think we've mentioned that
Exactly.
first episode or first season recap. I think we've already mentioned it once this recap, but kind of hard not to keep going for it.
House of the Holy is episode 13 of season 2, and it starts with a woman smoking on the couch, and then she switches the TV on and it's evangelist. Now, I didn't know these types of people existed, and my husband said yes. It's not just a piss take on that Genesis video, music video, Jesus Knows Me, which is a brilliant song, and Ghost do an even better cover of it as well. But yeah, these people exist, and I thought it was crazy because they've been using like the X-Files and stuff as well, so they have been using quite a few different things. But no, it apparently exists. So the TV basically was off, and then the TV switches back on, and then it's the crazy preacher again, and she thinks basically it's the word of God, and then her home starts shaking. Is that a coincidence?
Absolutely not.
She sees a white light. She sees a white light and a figure, and she looks scared and oddly at ease. It's a miracle. Is it really though? Sam is posing as an orderly in a facility, and the woman from the start of the episode who's seen the light and all that shit is there because what she saw was real and not a mirage. Because it's happened to a couple of people by now. I would like to know what you saw. I stabbed a man in the chest, Sam asked, did God speak to you? And she said it was an angel that told her to do it. So, like the Metatron, if it was the voice of God, she thinks she was chosen, she was to look out for a sign, and she saw it at the man she killed's front door, she said. Back to the motel, Dean is listening to music and using magic fingers. A bed massage. Doesn't that look nice? Sam said Dean is enjoying that massage way too what? And making him uncomfortable, speaking from the guy who actually was watching porn. Do you know what I mean, and got caught a few episodes ago. He doesn't get to judge no one. They are talking about the woman who killed an innocent guy, or he was no one knew, but it's the second person in that time to kill someone because an angel told them to. So that's not just a coincidence anymore, or one just crazy person. There's something going on. They joke about the lore on unicorns, and Sam's response is unicorns don't exist, and Dean's response, cute. That's all he says. No sulfur, no MF, so nothing. So everything looks normal from the outside. Who or what is doing this and why? The angel seems to be dishing out their own version of an intervention, as the man who was killed by the woman who saw the messenger student had gone missing from the library he worked at. So students had been going missing. This angel that was appearing was telling this woman that this guy was a bad guy, even though he looked like a good guy on paper. He had a dark, seedy past. There was a student going missing, and it was basically going into that library, which obviously was the thing that they all had in common. So apparently, Sam prays, and Dean was like, "You think you know someone?" Like he's surprised that Sam is praying. Dean says there is just chaos and violence. Dean asks for hard proof, as he is not a believer. Preaching to the choir, man. That is definitely me. Sam sees a sign and he says to Dean he has to protect Sam from killing the guy, so he locks Sam out of the Impala and tells him to do the seance, and they will take care of the other guy who he saw in the sign next to. So Guy picks up a woman and she has flowers. Dean tells him Sam is at the priest's grave about to do a ritual. He sprinkles something on the candle, then a priest appears and on Sam doing the ritual, and the priest didn't get. The guy has died without getting his last rites, so he can't pass on. So that's when the priest has appeared to him. They find out that he's been the angel that has been appearing to these people because there's people been coming to give him confession, and he's obviously got this guilty secret that he feels he has to basically share by making people go out and be, well, their own form of justice by taking out these human monsters basically. So because he's not had his last rites, he's able to do that. But then he gets his last rites, they eventually do it, and then he gets to pass on. So it's like, again, actions have consequences. It's like learning a wee lesson there. Again, when you go to confession, this is supposed to be sacred between you and the priest, given that wee clarification. Dean says, holy, and the man driving he was following ends up with a steel pole through him. He got his own payback, or the universe did. So they both take a drink from the hip flask after everything, the last rites, everything like that, that all stopped, and no one saw an angel like that anymore because Gregory had passed on. Sam says he wanted to believe so bad, as it's so hard to what they do for it always to be evil. And obviously that Sam's got his destiny and all that carry on. Dean says he's watching out for him. You're just one person, Dean. Sam says he wishes some higher power, greater good was looking out for him. Maybe he could be saved. Bob Dylan is playing in the background, which is knocking on heaven's door, which again, it's kind of knocking on heaven's door. I don't know if that's maybe an inclination of being saved, going to like the good side, not the bad side. They know their dad's souls went to hell, so it's definitely not him. The mother is probably in heaven, I can imagine. Isn't that the gist of that?
Yep. Sam wants to be saved so bad, and Dean doesn't know what to do. It's funny.
Not funny, haha, though. It's just
No,
weird.
yeah, it's a funny, weird, funny because the
So,
boys are always knowing or at least trying to know what they're gonna do. Dean doesn't know what to do at all.
and also he doesn't even have that wee extra kind of. If he phones his dad and his dad might just, message or something because his dad gave up his life as well. He's like, they don't have anybody that's got their back. Yeah, they have Bobby, but it's different, with your dad kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Especially Dean. Even with John not being there, it's like Dean still feels the same as before. It's just like he's the adult, but now he is the adult. He's just got to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
get on with it.
Yep.
So we are on episode 14.
7 more episodes to
That's
go.
episode 14. Yeah, that's not bad actually. So it's season 2, episode 14, and it's called Born Under the Wrong Sign. The episode starts with Dean on the phone to Ellen from the Roadhouse, and she's helping the boys with their wee situation with Sam and Yellow Eye. She's just listening out, and we have covered that in previous episodes. Sam goes into a cafeteria to get pie, I'm sure, and then he disappears. It's like a complete blackout, and he can't remember, and he's been trying to find him, and then Dean is on the phone and says, Ellen, it's me again. Any chance you've heard from Sam? And he's still not shown up. So Sam has called Dean, and Dean seems to be well confused, but glad that he called him and reached out. A flash, and you see Sam with red knuckles, and he's been in a fight, or he's hurt, or both. Dean shows up knocking the door of the motel, and it seems that he's covered in someone else's blood and he can't remember where or how or why he left and where he's been. He checked into the room 2 days under the name Richie Sambora, and Dean laughs about that. Nothing suspicious or anything at the front desk about Sam's whereabouts. He's trying to retrace his steps, and Sam recognises absolutely nothing, right? This episode is basically Sam has a blackout and he actually goes to another hunter's house. He doesn't know it's a hunter's house because it's like he's been taken over by someone. Because that's the only reason why he'd forget or have choppy memories and stuff about it. Because again, you find that out when that demon possesses Meg's body, human form, and they talk about it in season 1. So basically, they retrace his steps and they take him to a petrol station, a gas station, sorry. And he walks in because he recognises like the sign, and the guy behind the counter turns around and goes, "No, no, no!" He's like, "You out," and he's like, "You owe me for." It was a drink they bought and 2 packs of cigarettes, and then he lit up in a fucking gas station, which is a dumbass move and a dickish thing to do. Be dickish in your own don't do it when you've got a room full of people. So it's like, is this a new power, the blackouts, and controlled by another force? Because that's what we find out, that it hijacked him, but he was just waiting basically to like go off on his own, basically. So They find out that he basically wasn't in control of his body. Sam asks Dean to try other doors, and then he has a key to a storage facility. It's an old vintage car, and there's blood on the steering wheel, all over Sam at this point. Sam, the back seat, and he's in the back seat, and there's a knife with blood on it. Dean says he's not thinking anything as he doesn't know anything that's going on, because at this point Dean is actually freaking out because he's like, what the fuck? You don't know where you are, you're covered in fucking blood, you've got a fucking random key here, what the fuck? And also it's menthol cigarettes he's smoking, he's not smoking like your Marlboro Reds or anything like that, he's smoking menthols. Dean is surprised that Sam was drinking malt liquor, lol, because he usually is a bit of a pussy. Sorry, but he is, because he actually does pretty much call him that anyway. He does ask Sam before entering the gas station, is there any spooky deja vu? And Dale tells Sam to go wait in the car. Dean speaks to the guy, and he just basically is paying him back for what his brother took, basically. And they find out he went north, which is 371 straight out of town, which is pretty much where they follow, and it gets to the hunter's house. And these will be the hunters that are coming for Sam, most likely, that have been talking in the roadhouse and probably talking to demons when just before they die, they're probably torturing them to get information out of them about Sam, especially if they talk about it. And again, that's spoke about in another episode as well by Gordon. The war and all that carry on. It was singing like a canary apparently. And the houses get security cameras, and Dean says, shall we not? They do. Dean, there's broken glass, and they're surprised there's no police has shown up because there's an alarm in the house, but it had been tripped, and no one had been able to set it off for the police. It looks like that they knew that the person was like crazy paranoid and had all this shit. Dean and Sam are in the house and looking around. Dean tells Sam to put the lights on, and there is a man who has been attacked. His throat has been slit. Sam, I did this. That what his dad meant by taking him out. That's what Dean's thinking to himself. This kind of shit where he's blacking out and he doesn't know what he's doing and he's going fucking on a killing spree. The guy has some serious weaponry, a unibomber or a hunter. They are watching the security footage and they both see Sam dragging the man and slitting his throat and then wiping his blood on the shirt he was wearing. I was reading a letter and now Dean is like, how do you erase this? The letter was from his daughter. The man is a hunter and his name was Steve. Dean tells Sam to wipe his prints. Sam is like, I murdered him. Dean is trying to make sense of him, and now Sam thinks he is this person that took over after the blackout. Sam is describing he's having rage and hate feelings. Guys needs a 5-knuckle shuffle. Yeah, the guy needs a 5-knuckle shuffle. That's what I just wrote. You can tell I was having that. I don't know what was wrong with me that day. Dean, no one can control you but you. Sam, you promised him. You promised me, talking about taking him out if he goes rogue. Don't be a martyr, Sam. I believe this season we see Jared playing such a good role, being Sammy good guy and Sammy who the fuck are you, Sam Winchester? But he is magnificent. He's just magnificent in him showing weakness and vulnerability in a world that they are from that is so full of the unknown, and yet he's trying to juggle the what ifs and the what ofs. Sam, you'll live to regret this. Sorry, is Sammy the good guy and Sam the bad guy, or vice versa? Sam leaving, is it his choice, or is it something he has to do? Is this pushing his brother and the last of his family away for him to protect them for who he becomes from the unknown? Dean has to vacate the room because some lady of the night and her client needs the room, so Dean leaves and uses the phone downstairs and phones, I think, the phone company, to see his son is diabetic and went to a Justin Timberlake concert and he's worried about him. The boys, the boys will be boys, won't they? Always the troll, even when he knows something is. Sam shows up to the bar and it's Joe. Sam asks for a beer and he has a weird creepy face on. There's a vibe there that's just not Sam Winchester. Conversation between Joe and Sam. Joe, how did you find me? It's kind of what we do. So what are you doing here, Sam? Kind of wanting to square things up. Caught in the crossfire, talking about his dad and his guilt of letting her father die. Boy, you're really kind of torture him. talking about Dean, talking about how Joe's obviously in love with Dean. Sam is a complete douche saying that Dean doesn't want her like the way she wants him. He's just using this. The demon is saying these awful things, so she'll literally give him anything he wants, basically. Sam is being well a douche. So, what else? I said that again. It goes, and Sam says, I can be more to you, Joe. And then Sam tries to force himself on Joe and attacks her. He smacks her head off the bar and goes all creepy serial killer attacker and says, Joe, it didn't have to be this way. The Doors are playing in the background and he put the jukes on. Tell me, what do you know about what happened to your dad? You can tell me anything. Answer the question, Sam says to Joe. Her dads were in California. This is her telling her what she's been told, basically, and her dad was bait. But she's obviously just telling him what he wants to hear to kind of like bide her time. Just having a drink. So she's basically telling him the story so she can bide her time. So when Dean shows up, that's usually the reason because they're waiting for someone. The demon spawned, turned around and killed her dad. You really don't know the truth. I bet your mom doesn't either. So this is where demons do their best, as they do. Start toying with you. He was all clawed up and praying to see you guys one more time. So John killed him and put him out of his misery. Sam has made her bait for Dean to shoot him. Is this what the demon wants, for Dean to kill Sam, or for Sam to kill everyone they love? So he has to take him out and giving Dean the ultimate decision of what to do. Dean throws holy water on him and his eyes go. Joe shouts he was possessed. Well, what else would he be, for fuck's sake, Joe? Dean, so who are you? Sam, I go by many names and are always so full of himself. Why didn't you kill me? Sorry. Sam, I go by many names. And there's all, and I'm, hello. Sorry, it's because I just had a drink. Sam, I go by many names. And how are demons always so full of themselves? Always like, you should know me. Okay then, there's millions of probably demons out there possessing people. Why didn't you kill me? He said he was testing him to see if he would take Sam out. He's killing all the hunters, so they cannot stop his plan, the yellow-eyed demon and the war that is coming. Is it a choose a side moment? I've just said. At this moment, I don't know if it is because they don't need Dean at this point, or Dean's not really aware of his part in the future. Dean shot and went into the water, and Joe calls him and then finds him. She's dealing with a bullet and the wound, and apparently she's a butcher because her surgical skills are obviously shit. So Dean leaves. Sam shows up at Bobby's, and Bobby he's no a ticket. A ticket in Scotland means he's no a dafty. He's no stupid. He knows that something's off. So Bobby is no. He gives Sam a beer, and well, there's something in it. On yourself, Bobby, which is well done, Bobby. Bobby says, don't try to con a con man, which is brilliant. Dean is there and Sam is tied to a chair. Sam, the other personality, has been subjected to some holy water play. Dean says to Bobby to start the ritual to remove the demon from Sam. He is laughing at him in this episode. It must be so fun to play Sam and then all the personalities he has to endure because of his destiny. I thought it was really cool that Jared he plays himself and then he plays this other like Jekyll and Hyde character. It's just really, really good. I really think he did an amazing job.
Oh, he did.
Possessed,
Absolutely.
when he's possessed a few times over the years, you see he's such a good actor. Absolutely love how his take on it, the bad Sam was. The demon now tries to invoke things while the exorcism is going on, and they find out that he's binding Sam to him, so they can't get rid of him. So he can't be removed, and he can't be removed from Sam's meat suit, and that's what they call it. Hell is a prison made of blood, none and fear, and you ain't sending me back there. It's the same demon that was inside Meg's meat suit, basically. He says, I saw your daddy. He says, howdy, which again is just a tie-in with The Exorcist. Dean, you are worthless. You couldn't save your dad, and you can't save Sam. They would be better off without you. Again, Dean's already guilty about everything, so the demon is using that as a weapon because they know Dean will listen. The demon leaves, Black Smoke leaves, and then he gets hit by Dean, and then Dean falls to one side because he got shot. You look like that right back at you. What is it, Bobby? They find out the guy that Sam killed when he was possessed, that his hunter mates are looking for anybody that is involved. And Bobby walks over to the boys and he says he wants to keep it. He asks them if they are involved and they don't say anything, but they kind of make a look. And he goes, Bobby says he wants to keep it that way. The boys don't know the hunter that was killed. He hands them 2 wee charms and says that this will fight off any possession. The boys don't know the hunter. Yeah, I did say that. It's fine. Sounds vaguely dirty. Lol. Dean responds to Bobby saying the charms will stop anything getting up into them. That was funny as fuck. Sounds vaguely dirty. That was just so funny and comical. That response from Dean. The song playing in the Impala as they drive away is Back in the Road Again by Rio Speedwagon. They love them. They discuss the possession and Sam said he remembered attacking Joe as he was awake. It was like the demon wanted him to see him attacking someone he cared about. That's how I felt about that. He made him wake up and show him he was hurting her and he was going to hurt her if Dean didn't come in, which I thought was horrible to even think about. Dean said his dad had said only if he couldn't save him was he to kill him. You had a girl all up inside you for a week, and he laughs about it. They seem to think because the demon was inside of a girl, the demon must be a girl. But a demon doesn't have to possess the same sex it is. But again, Dean laughs about a woman being inside Sam. Lol. So what did you think of that episode?
I like the episode. I mean, it did finally show, why Sam was acting the way he was. He was possessed. Did show that Sam does have a darker side to him, being possessed or not. It's just whether or not he will give into it.
Mm-hmm.
But the episode the episode in itself, that just goes to show that Dean needs his brother more than Sam needs him.
So we have episode 15, and it is Tall Tales. Now, this is like an urban legendy one, but it's the first time that it's Loki, a trickster. And it's Bobby that realizes that it is because it's all these like weird ass things that are happening. Like there's a professor when you first walk into the show, the professor, it's a woman fixing her shoe and she's dressed in like white, like kinda like symbolizing like purity, like but she had this kinda like really kinda weird, she's pure but she's not that pure kinda look about her. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I definitely would agree.
Yes, so it was kind of being suggestible that she was a wee bit not on the pure side. Give it that way. She kisses him, she ends up killing him. There was like a bunch of deaths that happened in that building, in that room and stuff like that. They were talking about like urban legend and myth. Then there was like random people that were getting tricked by watches and drains. Don't put your hand down a drain. Have you seen it? They get the watch and then he gets attacked by what seems to be like a shark or sorry, they don't say it's a shark, it's an alligator or something like that, don't they? That's down in the sewers, which is an urban legend, and Loki plays on that because it's greed as well. And also, he apparently is punishing people. And then there's the jock, as you call them, that apparently gets probed by an alien, and the alien is like just like stoating about and stuff, and just makes no fucking sense at all. It was just like one of those episodes of X-Files, like the new series where it went like that, and it made no fucking sense. It's just like an alien just going about fucking with people. It just makes no sense. Whatever. It's just weird. This episode it's just weird. Completely ignores him. The door goes and it's Bobby. My man. Sam thanks Bobby for coming out. What did you not want to talk to me over the phone about? First, they talk about what happened previously, that Dean was drunk and drinking purple nurples with someone called Starla. This was Sam talking about what had happened, and the stories were like getting really weird and just they didn't sound like Dean at all or Sam. And then they were like trying to like imitate each other, like it was Loki, it was ripping the piss while they were talking to Bobby, and Bobby just looks like, come on, can we get to the end here? Do you know what I mean? He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. So it's like Bobby's like the daddy, he's like replacing John in this episode, and he has to. Dean's trying to explain what really happened. He's like, blah 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 is what Sam is saying. It's just like blah 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 blah. Like, and it was just really funny because they are really. They made Sam really camp as well. Well, Dean did when he was describing him because he was just like, it didn't happen like that way. It happened this way. Loki is playing tricks on everyone. They're trying to find who Loki is. There's a creepy janitor. He ends up being Loki. And he's fucking with people. And he just, again, this is another filler episode that it was funny, but I just don't think it needed to be in there, to be honest.
No,
That's all I've
you're.
got to say about
Yeah, I mean,
the Trickster Demigod episode. Was annoying.
yeah, I mean, you are right. It definitely was an episode that really didn't need to be in there.
Any of his episodes, a lot of them.
If they would have just cut out the filler episodes that really did not need to be in, but at the same time, they obviously need something to just fill the voids.
Well, this is another episode that is filler and it's roadkill. And this is based again on people call it an urban legend because it was over 20 years ago. There was a woman who there's a spirit that keeps appearing in the same roads in the same night at the same time who's running away from this guy apparently, and she appears to drivers and gets in their car, and obviously they end up meeting an untimely death or untimely thing. People get killed there basically every year. It's like Groundhog Day. She doesn't remember reliving the day, doesn't really remember anything. She remembers everything up to the day I think she died. And what happened was there was an accident 20 odd years ago. Her and her husband were driving. It was a really wet night and they were on windy roads, and I think they took a wrong turn somewhere maybe when the husband was driving because she said something to him like, if you were paying attention to the map or whatever, or something along those lines. It's their anniversary, and obviously they're having a wee bit of like a catty argument, like words, because they're spending all this time in the car when they could have been at where they were supposed to be for their anniversary. And this is the last anniversary they get, basically. The person that is chasing Molly, who is the woman who appeals to everybody on this road, has appealed to Sam and Dean, and they are trying to help her. You find out that her husband David actually survived, but Molly had actually taken out a father, wasn't it? It was like a farmer. She'd taken him out and he died. And someone else in his family had died just before, but she took him out and she died as well in the car accident. She hadn't moved on, so the boys' basically mission was to help her move on and stop her from reliving Groundhog Day. They take her to where David lives now, and David's remarried and he's got a different life, and she doesn't really get it. And they're trying to explain to her that you died, there was an accident, you died, David survived, but you're stuck there and you're reliving that over and over again. And no one should have to do that, relive that over and over again because it was an accident when she knocked him over. She died as well. You see her going towards the light at the end, and she's going to, it looks like she's going to heaven because no demons come. And a few things. Molly couldn't see the truth, basically. And that's why she couldn't give up. And that's why she was stuck there, basically. Dean says he needed her to get the other spirit, and how she wouldn't believe him if the boy showed her she was dead the first time they met. Because she actually asks, why didn't you say something before? And they tried to explain, would you have believed us if we said you were dead? Because you wouldn't have even think they were mental, wouldn't you? If someone said you're dead, you're not alive, you're stuck. You know what I mean? You're just like reliving this. Sam says, but it's the truth. To the light she goes off, and off she goes. Even Sam looks upset. He said, I hope so. When Dean asked, do you think she went to a good place? And he says he doesn't know, but he hopes so. Dean also says, we will only find out when we take that plunge ourselves, referring to their final demise. Hope is kind of the whole point. Dean calls Sam Haley Joel from The Sixth Sense. I see dead people. Which again, it was a filler episode, but it was still actually quite a good one. Supernatural Season 2, Episode 17's Heart. I don't like this episode. I'm going to be honest and upfront right fucking now. I hate this episode. I hate it more than the other ones that I've said I've hated in Season 2. I hate this episode. This lassie basically is in a bar, and then or tries to get picked up by one of the lawyers in a firm that she works at. And it's just the story is he ends up dead, all torn up and shit, heart removed in his office, and she finds him. She can't remember anything. No one can remember anything. Everything's just a blur. They find out that she is a wolf. She didn't realise when someone attacked her they had bit her, that there was a werewolf that actually bit her. She has a friend-zoned neighbour who becomes a werewolf too. They've been like kind of terrorising the neighbourhood. Sam falls in love with her. I don't know how many days they're supposed to be there. Is it days? Is it weeks? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how long they're staying there for them to get an attachment.
I can't remember either. I want to say it was days, but I could be wrong.
Sounds weird. I don't know. Maybe days work differently in the supernatural world. Who knows? Well, he falls in love with her, but he knows she shouldn't be alive because, well, she's a werewolf. She's a killer. She needs to die. Dean refers to her as a really hot, incredible Hulk when she turns from her human form to her werewolf form. Dean tries to joke and get his brother his whole, which is get him sex to everybody else, needs to be able to blow off some steam. So I get some, and then she turns after she falls asleep. So Sam, part of her is evil. Sam, again, her. You're gonna blow away Madison. I don't want to die, but I can't live like this. This is the way. Poor Sam really cares about her and can't do it. Sam and Dean talk, and Dean says he will do it, but Sam said she asked me, and he is so sad, and a pure sad love song is playing by a band called Queensryche, and the song is called Silent Lucidity, and it is so fucking sad that it kicks you in the feels, and you understand how Sam must be feeling right now, because he's got to kill the woman that he just gets hold from, that he really, really liked. He'll think fondly of their time together, I bet. So what did you think of that episode, the filler episode?
Oh, look, another episode. Yay.
I said dumb young people. Basically, actors in the movie are on a movie set and they are dying in real life. So basically, it's like the movie is becoming reality. Again, we've seen that in a few different horror franchises and other movies, etc., and dream worlds and everything like that. It's an original concept. It's not a new concept. Not knowing. So apparently, they find out when they've been doing their obviously reading their lines and they're doing their scenes that they've been chanting things that things were found in a book. Where has that happened again? Yes, that has happened in season 1 of Supernatural. In the haunted house, painting symbols on the fucking wall and doing shit you shouldn't be. When does this ever turn out well? It does not. When will they learn? Never. They find out it's a member of staff that has basically been conducting this and wanting things to happen because apparently the movie they're doing, he doesn't believe the movie is good. And obviously a lot of the ideas have been his and he just wants obviously to be appreciated type thing. So basically they find out it's him and then they find out that the creators team punishing everybody in the project, using a totem charm, summoning things that he doesn't understand, and the spirits are showing up and taking everyone out that gets in the way. So basically, it's a pointless episode that just filled up a big bunch of nothing. The next episode, Folsom Prison, and it is episode 19. Another filler episode, that's 3 in a row. I'd say it's almost 4 in a row actually. Starts off with a prisoner reading a comic, some contractors doing some repairs, and the lights flash and the clock stops. The prisoner tries to get the guard's attention because something's going on. Find out that a ghost, an angry spirit, is actually taking out anyone I think did them wrong. There was a fire apparently, but the woman who was in the fire, the nurse, she was the nurse, not the doctor, she hated prisoners and she got her own kicks out of punishing them, it seems. And prisoners are getting taken out left and right. So the boys end up in there just so they can get in. Then you find out the dad actually has a friend who is a prison officer who's actually contacted them and he's in on it. The FBI guy ends up showing up again and tries to make a lawyer, prisoner, client privilege where you're not supposed to tell people of the things that you're doing or anything like that. It's not supposed to be like that. And they trick them. They find out where the the nurse's bones are, and they go torch them, they deal with them. There's only so much Dean can do to protect Sam, but running from the FBI, he has to do things smarter because we got to go deep as an underground because that was too close for even them that time. And as the episode is ending, classic song from the 90s, Alice in Chains, Rooster playing, and then the episode finishes. And now we're going to episode 20, which is called What Is and What Should Never Be. What is and what should never be. Basically, I'm reading because I can't remember. Yeah, it's basically an episode that's filler, but it's filler. It is and isn't. It's basically a djinn that's basically screwing with people and showing them what their life would be like or what they would like their life to be like, I think. Because, first of all, it starts off with Dean doesn't know that he's been captured by the djinn. This is like a proper djinn like you would see in American Gods with the tattoos, like the tribal, like, part of their tribe. They would have, like, obviously, the kind of like Jason Momoa's arm. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's not just Aquaman, but his tattoo that he has in both arms. Has that. That basically kind of shows you where you're from type thing. If you can remember that episode, he kind of had like blue eyes and stuff. Like they were like crazy blue eyes. Dean, he managed to capture Dean because Dean was looking for a missing girl. And Dean's there. That's only two ones that are there. And what he does is he's got you like hooked up to like you're basically hooked up to a thing that's so the gin basically has you're got an IV bag and he comes over and he drinks it. I think he's like taking the fear out of your blood, or I don't know if it's fear or if it is he gives you what he wants so he can feed off you. I don't know. Not entirely sure. I never actually really listened because it was another episode of me. It was showing you if the boy's father had died and not their mother. But it wasn't when Sam was a baby. It sounds like he had a heart attack and he died. Or stroke, sorry, that's what it was. He had a stroke and he died. And Mary was still alive. And they didn't stay in the house before. It was like a nice wee house with a white picket fence, showing basically their life. Sam was with Jess. Jess was alive as well, and Sam was in law school, and he was like successful, and he just proposed to Jess. They're coming back to show Mary, their mother, that they were engaged, they were going to get married, and then Dean is just Dean. He's just Dean without hunting, to be honest. Still drinking, but he's not sleeping with random women. He's got a girlfriend and he's got an apartment. And he goes over and he sees his mum and he's so confused. He's so upset. And he asks his mum a question, what did you say when you used to tuck me in a bed at night? And it was like there was an angel protecting you and looking after you, looking over you. And he had to hear it. And he went into the mum's house and they asked him if he'd been drinking because he didn't make any sense. And maybe that he's a confused drunk. Maybe they thought he had one too many at the bar. He just sees wee face because he's seeing his mum for the first time, since she was taken, and he's in this other world where she never died and she never went away, and their dad and their mother had nothing to do with hunting, anything like that, nothing to do with the supernatural world. They were living a normal life. Dean had a girlfriend, like I said, at a house. He was doing like chores for his mum, and his mum thought there was something up with him because he was doing things that she probably asked him to do weeks ago, that he was just doing because his mum had asked him to, but didn't realise that it had been something that they joke about all the time. Dean and Sam don't have a relationship. They're kind of like they were like at the start, where Sam had fucked off to go to school, to be a lawyer, and then had this weird choppy relationship. They don't even have that choppy relationship anymore. They have nothing. Sam and Dean don't get along. Apparently Dean owes Sam money and things like that over the years, and so he does. They both don't like him. Jessica and Sam don't particularly like Dean. Obviously, Mary loves her sons no matter what. And Dean starts to see the girl that's missing that they were looking for before he was captured by the djinn. And then he realised that it's a different world. Sam had to deal with everything on his own. The Jinn tries to like bring his girlfriend, like she's an entity from that world, out to our world, and his mum and Jess and all that carry. And that was so horrible to actually see that that's what they're trying to show you, that Dean just wants his family back in some sort of aspect, whether it was his mum or his dad. He just wants a normal life or a shot at a normal life, and for him to have one of his parents, if not maybe both of his parents, back with him so they can have a normal life and they can just walk away from this hunter lifestyle. That's what I feel like in this episode. Like it's a big
Yeah.
realization that he misses something and there is something missing, and knowing that he only has Sam now. It's like warm, fuzzy, exy Sam doesn't seem to like this version of Dean because this Dean doesn't exist in this world. Basically, see when Dean's being nice, the other Sam just doesn't, there's something wrong with you, this isn't you. So the relationship between them doesn't exist in that world. Dean is drinking a beer and he sees the thing about a crash, all the hunting they did, all the people they saved, all undone. So yeah, the realization of him not being a hunter anymore, because he puts two and two together, even though they try and say he's thick and stuff in that show, he's actually not. He realizes everybody they saved is either dead or they never found them or they were not there to protect them. He's so confused, he has to sacrifice so much in his own world, and this world he would get his mum, but not his dad. He gets a girlfriend, not his brother. All these sacrifices, so stay in his world and now have Sam and nothing else. Have no future, no mum there. Or stay in that world, don't have your brother, have a girlfriend and have your mum. That's basically what they're telling. There's always something that he's got to give up. Dean takes Sam with him to find the Jinn. Sam is well not the same. We know the moose. Dean sees the girl again, barely alive. He's drinking her fear and her memories, her pain. You wee sicko, man. That was why. You're a wee sicko. Dean gets a flash and it's him hanging up there. So basically his world is that world and this world is like disappearing because there's a realization that Dean's waking up, and again, like he tries to entice him back to that world and it does. Dean said it was a wish that mom never died. I'm glad you dug yourself out, Dean. Dean, it wasn't real, but I wanted to stay. And that's again showing you the sacrifices and everything like that that he had to go through. It wasn't real anyway. Even though he had it there, he knew it was something didn't make sense. So we have episode 21, which is All Hell Breaks Loose. Now this is the season finale two-parter, which I'm going to read as two because it literally is one episode that they break into two for the finale. Now, everything to do with this season, end of last season and the season through this, was the cult and what the cult did and what Yellow Eyes was planning. And we didn't know about the war until the end of the season and then part of the start of this season about the war. Bobby realizes after all the research, because he's a research god, that everything to do with Sam and the other children that this happened to, everything that happened with Yellow Eyes, everything like that, all this stuff was all in place. Probably John dying was probably going to happen as well. Them being taken out, him having to make a choice to Yellow Eyes to get him anyway. It all seems to have led up to these two episodes and what was about to happen. You've got Bobby and Ellen is there, and you have Dean and Sam. But it starts off that Dean and Sam are in Impala, and this is the episode where he's about to go in for a pie, and he loves them, and he has a sweet tooth. Hands over the cash, and then Sam doesn't come back out. So when he doesn't come back out, the stereo starts flickering and then cuts off. This is the kind of stuff that their dad spoke about that actually happened in or around the time of his son Sam, and also for Jessie or Jessica. Sorry, that he spoke about happened around the time, obviously 6 months. Even though she wasn't one, she was part of the story. Everything's now kind of clicking into place where they're supposed to be. So Bobby realizes, well, actually, I'm skipping a bit forward here. What happens is Sam disappears and he wakes up in a land that looks like something like it's like an arcade type thing, but it's not like an RPG type thing that you would go and kind of play. But it's not. It's a town that apparently more people. There was a lot of stuff happened in this town, and it was like the most haunted town. Is it? Apparently, they say the most haunted town, and no one lives there because people get possessed and God knows what. So this is where Sam wakes up, and then he starts to find other people along the way. He finds the guy who had the twin that he killed a few episodes away, where he was using his powers to basically manipulate people to get him to do what he wanted. And then there's another girl, a younger guy who was in the military, who was in the army, and he just ended up waking up there. And Ava, she's one of the last ones to be found, and we saw her with Sam when they found out that Sam was going to be killed by Gordon. So this is all lining up together, and she's been out of commission apparently for like 3 months, and Sam's been trying to find her apparently, yet we have not really seen much of him looking out for her since. So Sam is knocked out and he's laying out. Dean walks into the cafe, no one's there, and this stuff is going on basically obviously in Sam's kind of timeline. He's laying out in an old piece of fence. It looks like some sort of old cowboy place, an abandoned town type place. Spoon bender deathmatch, basically. This is the episode where they've got to take each other out. They find out to who's going to be the chosen one that Azazel wants. Azazel says that his money's on Sam, but you find out he manipulates everybody. He's making them go into kind of sort of type. They're not asleep, but they're not awake either kind of state. And he's coming into their dreams and he's speaking to them. And he's telling them that they're going to win and his money's on them. But there's something special about Sam. Again, you find that out seasons later that I've seen anyway. And he's going to be part of this war, and they want him to win this war, but there's other things going to happen to him down the line. They've got to take each other out. Like I said, the spoon bender death match. They've got to. It's basically the strongest will survive. Survival of the fittest. So there's not much point. They have to work together at the start to keep any demons coming out to possess them or anything like that. So they find all the supplies they can, like rock, salt, and they find everything else that they need, and they put it around the windows and doors and everything like that. But obviously there's someone who's not who they seem. Sam knows Andy, which is the guy who I spoke about earlier, and Eva from before, but he hasn't met the soldier. And he hasn't met the other girl either who was there. And remember, there would be another person there as well, but he was killed by his brother in the episode. Take him out because he was a very, very dangerous guy. So Yellow Eyes does say to Sam, though, "You're awfully quiet." He asks Sam if he's mad at him. Yellow Eyes has just admitted that this is a competition. He's told Sam that he needs one to survive, and they will be the leader, the best, the brightest of Sam's generation. Sam doesn't know at this point that there's actually the person who he trusts there, Ava, that she actually has been there the longest, and she has been fighting everybody off, and she is basically the reigning champion of the Spoonbender Deathmatch right there. Dean's trying to find Sam, and he phones the Roadhouse, and again, can't find him anywhere. No one's heard from him, and that's when Bobby and that try and find him. And then what Sam tries to do is Andy gets him to do it. He gets him to put an image into Dean's head, because he can if he has something of his or whatever, he can actually, look at him and look at it or feel it or smell it or whatever, look at who the fuck knows, and actually be able to send him an image. And he sends him like the kind of big bell that's there. And when he's describing it to Bobby, Bobby knows exactly where it is. And he says it's an old town and it's very haunted and no one lives there anymore. Sees a bunch of other things as well, the clock and things like that. And this is where the Dean goes to the Roadhouse, and it's been like blown up. And there seems to be no survivors. Ash was on the phone to him before, telling him that he had some information. And Dean says, "Oh, Ash, damn it." Dean, when he sees that there's no trace of anyone, it literally looks like it's blown up from like the roots upwards, because there's like nothing there whatsoever. So we find out again, like I said, Ellen survives and Jo isn't there because Jo is doing her own thing. It says here, Mary's death was an accident. It was never about her. It was always been about you. Yellow Eyes has taken Sam back to the night with her mother, and she thinks it's John over the crib. She doesn't realise that it's Azazel that's actually hovering over Sam, giving him his blood. And he says, like mother's milk. Mary says, it's you. She recognises the demon. She knows who the fuck it is. Sam, why does she know you? That's what he says to Azazel. This is when you find out Mummy Dearest isn't who she claims to be, and that's when we find out from that line that, again, Mary, there's something about her and her past. Sam is awoken by the soldier to find Ava is missing, kind of similar to what happened with Lily, which is one of the other people who, when they touch you, she kills you, your heart stops. So apparently she touches everybody, she kills them. Andy's noticed that the salt has been removed from the window. Then poor Andy gets it. There's a creepy wee girl spirit. But again, creepy wee girl spirits always are going to take you out or be part of your death or your demise. Stage went to get water from the well. Sam, wake up. You know it's her. And Andy wouldn't do it. Sam has realised it is her. Missing for 5 months, not 3.5 months. And she was so false. And she said she had you go in there because she had the waterworks and everything, knowing that Sam would fall for it because she was like this weak woman before. Not saying women are weak, I am one. But they had portrayed her as that she didn't know how to use her powers, that she was new, etc. And she had no idea and she thought she just woke up and she hadn't. She's actually smart and she's taken out everybody. So Sam has just got to do. Everybody's got to deal with their own back in this, and that is what Azazel's done for sport. So I'm sorry, Sam, it's over. She starts to use her gifts. I always thought the gifts were in a pair, like yin and yang, male and female, and a pair would match what they needed for battle, and the powers would match and become like superpowers if they needed each other and were fighting on the same side. The other guy comes in and breaks Ava's neck, which is the soldier. It's only him and Sam left. Dean and Bobby arrive at the haunted town, so now they have to fight till the death, and that's it. He hits Sam, and he's on his ass. Get the fuck up. I get the music from the street fight, like round 1 fight, when they are doing this scene, like from Street Fighter. Sam is hurt. He must take out his only competition so he can leave there. Sam doesn't finish him, which was a dumb decision as he comes up behind him and stabs him, ending it for poor Sammy. Dina's losing it. Bobby runs after this other special one. I will patch you up and you'll be as good as new. Dean is speaking to Sam as he is dying in his arms. Dean holding his brother, his only blood kin, he says. I was supposed to look after you, screams Sam. And then straight into episode 2, it's Sam laying there dead and Dean is watching him and Bobby calls for Dean. He has brought some. He said, I am fine when Bobby tells him to eat something. Dean, I hate to break this up to you, but don't you think it's time we bury Sam? And Dean's response is no. He says, no, not yet. Bobby tells him he shouldn't be left alone. Dean says, let it end. He screams it when Bobby said, shit is happening. The apocalypse. Dean asks, haven't I sacrificed enough? And he tells Bobby to go. He apologises and asks him to leave. He has had everyone taken from him and he needs some time. How will he save Sam's soul? Yellow Eyes has shown up to Jake, the soldier, American Idol, but he says he... Yellow Eyes has shown up to take Jake, the soldier, the American Idol apparently, but he says he wasn't the horse he was betting on. Jake is feeling guilty about killing people. He tells Jake if he doesn't do as he tells him, his family will suffer. Dean is talking to Sam as if he can hear him. He's saying that he had one job and he had screwed it up, and that was to look after and protect Sam. He talks about things from the past, reminiscing about the kids, about them being kids, and how Sam would ask questions about their life, their childhood. And again, he said he can't remember all that from the first season. He said he could never remember. He went out for pretzels when she got a call from Ash. This is Ellen. We find out that Ellen, how she survived. She actually went for pretzels. She got a call from Ash and he said that to look in the safe, and he came back and the place was total. Ellen got what was in the safe and it was a map and it was the place in Wyoming. All the crosses that Bobby found that were all they were all from the 19th century, abandoned churches, and when they actually looked at the map, it drew out to a pentagram right in the centre, and it was actually a Hell's Gate. And they knew it was a Hell's Gate because all the demons were kind of congregating and have been literally spending a lot of time around this area and a lot of stuff that was happening, because nothing was happening elsewhere, it was only around this, and all the different wee things that they have found out about what was going to happen in this war. They find the pentagram, they find the Hell's Gate. Now the Hell's Gate is on hallowed ground, and this is the start of the war. This is the war that they have been talking about and they have been shouting. This is all to do with now the cult, the creator of the cult, why the cult was created, and why the cult is needed by Yellow Eyes, and why that's what he bargained with it for Dean, to bring Dean back, type of thing. The cult creator built railway lines and created a devil's trap, and the gun bullets it was created by what something a hunter would need, and that's why they've came to the conclusion that the guy who created the cult and created the Hellgate was a hunter, and he knew this day was going to come. Whether he got visions himself, maybe he was one of Yellow Eyes' special dudes back then, maybe they've been trying to do it for a long time, and he didn't want it to happen again. You never know. Bobby realised that they were all omens, but he was finding all the things like Croatoan, things like that, stuff that was happening, like we talked about with the 4 horsemen. The episode basically at the end, they can't stand in hallowed ground, which there's different stages they can't, because remember Meg said she could walk into she could walk into the church, remember, and she killed that pastor. That didn't stop her, but they couldn't walk on the cult's ground. So that was different again because of all those churches and the symbolism that was obviously those churches and what they were used for. So even Yellow Eyes himself, he needed one of his special people to be demonic enough to actually open the Hellgate, but still human to actually cross that barrier and actually do what he needed them to do, and that's why he only gave him 1 drop of demon blood. But that's when we find out that you can, if you take a drop, it makes you strong, or it makes them stronger. Basically, they get there, Bobby and Ellen and Sam and basically, I'm missing a big bit out. Dean makes a fucking deal with the Crossroads demon, doesn't he? And he doesn't get 10 years, he gets 1 year, and then he'll lose his soul, isn't it? 1 year. And Bobby knows that he made the deal. That's what I forgot to tell you. That's what happens. So he knows he's brought him back, and Bobby has to look at Sam, and he knows something's not right. And again, the guy turns around who actually killed Sam and said, "How are you up and alive walking about? Because I severed your spinal column, you would have died." And then he finds brother and shit. But they end up opening the gate, and as they open the gate, what happens? They realise what the fuck it is, they realise what the fuck is happening, they realise what the fuck is coming out the door, because it's literally a door that basically opened the minute that Colt went in. Because that's pretty much went down, takes them out, they can't do anything about it, they shut the gates. But now enough of the demons have got out, basically. Enough of those people have got out, so therefore there's all these demons like fucking stoating about Earth now, and there's nothing really much they can do about it, isn't there? That's just them now. So then that's where you see, this is like the first proper finale that gets you ready for next season. The build up, because it's still sometimes because they always show that kind of like, see even that clip of like, the railroad track, the way it does the pentagram and when it lights up. Sometimes it shows you that in other seasons later on. It's just that tiny wee ass clip because it is a very important part of the series, like the actual full series, because this is like obviously they all match up and they all are a continuation of a story. So I like how they do that. So that's how season 2 ends. Basically, the gate has been open, and now they're like, oh shit. That's what they're doing now. They're like, oh no. So it's basically what the hell's going to be happening next. They don't know what the hell has left hell. They don't know anything like that. They don't know who's escaped. Sam now knows that he shouldn't be there now. And Dean has made that decision now for him. Dean has made that decision that his dad did to him, which again is, it's replaying again. Everything like that is happening again. And it's something that I didn't think Dean would have put Sam in that kind of predicament again, but again, he didn't want his brother to die. Because do we have any questions for season 2? Supernatural.
But guys, just to kind of go over a little bit of everything too. But we do have stuff in the works, guys. We're just
always planning and brainstorming all the fucking time, even when we're not supposed to, because that's the type of friends that we are, because we just want our podcast to be different, not like anybody else's, just ours, and this is our brand set. And that's why we spend so much time trying to make it the way it is.
Yep, and even basically, yeah, I mean, definitely, hopefully people see that and see that we're different and stuff like that. And even after we finish this episode here in a few minutes, we're going to brainstorm and talk a little bit. Not much. I know it's getting late over there for you, but this is what we do even after every episode.
Yep, and then pretty much if we get an idea at random, we just fucking message each other to basically say, what do you think of this idea, or what do you think of that? That's what it was like yesterday when I was doing my research for true crime and stuff.
But I mean, Confessions from the Darkside is our name, our where we're from. But like any episode title is going to be Confessions from this or Confessions from that, stuff like that. Other than that, anything else you want to add?
Do you like season 2? Do you think it's better than season 1? Do you think? Let us know. What team are you? Hashtag is it Bobby? Hashtag Sam? Hashtag Dean? Hashtag Daddy Douchebag. He's got to have some fucking fans out there. I would be looking forward to season 3. If you haven't seen it before, what do you think is going to happen in season 3 if you live a spoiler-free life? You're looking forward to the reaction and the breakdown in season 3.
LunarXRising.
And I'm Darcy Darkness. And we'll see you in the next one. Later.